Same league. We are rewriting the rules. Here on Today 95.1 FM.
We talk, you listen.
Apostle Paul announced,
I don't fight the good fight. I don't finish the race. I don't follow the faith. 2 Timothy 4:7.
Now your time, you go face the challenge.
Come answer the call of God for this year Holy Ghost Congress of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, where them call Onward Christian Soldiers from December 9, go reach 14, 2024.
Now for kilometer 46 Lagos Ibadan Expressway go shele by 6 p.m. every day.
Now Pastor E.A. Adeboye and other Bonge man of God then go lead the battle.
No miss this chance to prepare for battle.
Talk radio.
I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM. Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
Hello, good afternoon. Here's the business news update on Today 95.1 FM. I'm Rona Agbara. The executive chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ola Olukoyede, has attributed the frequent collapse of Nigeria's national grid to corrupt practices by contractors. Olukoyede made this known during an oversight visit by members of the House of Representatives Committee on Financial Crimes to the EFCC headquarters in Abuja yesterday. He expressed concern over how financial crimes and corruption have hindered the nation's development, further noting that dubious practices in the power sector, such as substandard materials, were significant contributors to equipment failures, outages, and recurrent grid collapses. According to him, budget performance in the country has been consistently poor, with implementation often falling between 20% over the last 15 to 20 years. Also revealing that substandard equipment purchased by electricity companies has been responsible for the national grid's frequent failures. The federal government has released about 25% of the total amount budgeted for pension arrears this year. However, it has pledged to settle the 88 billion naira earmarked for pension arrears in the 2024 budget. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, made the commitment yesterday when hundreds of retirees from Nigeria's Contributory Pension Scheme, NCPS, staged a protest at the Federal Ministry of Finance in Abuja. The retirees, angered by prolonged delays in the payment of their pension arrears, blocked the main entrance of the ministry, demanding an audience with Edun. Addressing the crowd, Edun disclosed that of the 88 billion naira budgeted for pension arrears in 2024, 22 billion naira had already been disbursed, and he further assured the retirees that the remaining funds would be paid by the end of the year, with disbursements set to commence next week. The Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, says over 30,000 of its members are set to buy premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, from the Dangote Petroleum Refinery in bulk. The IPAMN also reveals that the price of petrol from the $20 billion Lekki-based plant was 940 naira per litre and 990 naira per litre when purchased using ships and trucks. Newsmen gathered that the independent oil marketers might not import petrol again following the deal to begin direct lifting from the Dangote refinery. Speaking to newsmen yesterday, IPMAN President Abubakar Garima said the pump prices of petrol at its retail outlets will drop following their agreement with the Dangote refinery to lift products directly from the plant. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NUPRC, has announced plans to capture up to 250 million cubic feet to reduce emissions in the upstream petroleum sector. NUPRC's Chief Executive Benga Komolafe made this known at the ongoing 42nd Annual International Conference and Exhibition of the Nigerian Association of Petroleum Explorationists in Lagos. According to Komolafe, the NUPRC has prioritized decarbonization efforts through the Nigerian gas flare commercialization program, aiming to capture 250 million cubic feet per day of gas flares and significantly reduce emissions. Speaking further, Komolafe called for a collective approach to address Nigeria's energy trilemma of security, affordability, and sustainability, while commending NAPE members for their contribution to Nigeria's oil and gas sector. He emphasized that technological advancements had bolstered the industry and the economy. Highlighting the energy challenges, he reiterated the Nigerian government's commitment to creating an investor-friendly environment that enables energy independence. And on the foreign scene, the Canadian Union of the Postal Workers has given a 72-hour strike notice to Canada Post. The notice is set for both the union's urban and rural and suburban bargaining units. In a release yesterday, the union says workers will be in a legal strike position as of Friday if negotiated settlements have not been reached. However, the union said its National Executive Board has yet to decide if a job action will happen at the deadline, saying that will depend on Canada's Post actions at the bargaining table in the coming days. Canada's Post's latest contract offer included annual wage increase that amounted to 11.5% over 4 years. It also offered protection of the defined benefit pension for current employees, as well as job security and health benefits. However, the union has rejected the proposal. The union announced last month that its members had voted overwhelmingly to support a strike if a deal could not be reached at the bargaining table. And that was the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I'm Rona Agbara. Many thanks for listening. Good afternoon.
Say no to the ordinary. Embrace the extraordinary, because we are the voice of the people. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM.
Bunkering is a legal act of smuggling crude oil from pipelines and storage facilities, which poses significant dangers to Nigerian society. This activity has different consequences that affect various aspects of the nation's well-being, and it has consequences such as untimely death, environmental devastation. It fuels insecurity. It also damages our infrastructure, and it also damages our international prestige. You might say, how do we make a living if we stop this illegal activity? Well, as a young individual, you can channel your energy into positive endeavors that can help you generate income and create an adequate future for yourself. These are some ideas to help you generate income. You can go into starting a business. You can also acquire digital skills or gain agricultural knowledge or engage in farming. You can also acquire arts and creativity. You talk about technology and innovation. Then, skills and vocational training. Please note that success often requires dedication, consistency, and continuous learning. This message is brought to you by your premium talk radio, Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Talk radio.
I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Yes, you're still tuned in to Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. Beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Cool one to talk about business matters. My name is Queen Chima. Welcome to Business Today. Okay.
And I'm Faustina Oputu. Thank you so much for joining. And yes, it's a beautiful Wednesday afternoon and another opportunity to talk business because now more than ever, we need to keep talking about business, so you can grow your... as I was looking at the... federal government economy, the economy that we all know, we need to also look at how we can build our personal economy, so that the larger economy doesn't really affect us that much. It would affect us, but then the effect would be minimal.
Even if some people would say that... well, I hope that the federal government is making the environment very conducive for us to do business. Can our businesses thrive? Can my business thrive? What do I even need to start a business if I haven't started any? You know how they will tell you can start any business with 5,000 naira. 5,000 naira.
You remind me of those motivational speakers, and then those people who may make motivational speakers were like, okay, so I started my business with just a bag of sachet water, and now I have factories.
A factory is producing sachet water.
Exactly. So you too can do that.
Well, that's not disputing the fact that you can start from somewhere, but I think that it's things have got so. So what's the word now? Especially financially, economically.
Are you looking at a negative word?
Well, I'm just trying not to. All right. But then today, we'll talk about your business, because I think that there are people who are finding ways to navigate whatever challenge that it is and still do business, make profit, even if it might be challenging, still do business, make profit.
And we're not just talking about business, we're looking at career as well, because in as much as we have the people in business talking about the unfavorable business environment, we still have career people, people going about chasing their careers, some confused about their career, some confused about what to do, just to stay afloat in this current economic situation that we're in. So we're merging both together to have this conversation.
Yes. And when you talk about staying afloat, I think that's why this conversation today will be important. So you're not just going to stay afloat, but how can you advance, make progress with your business despite the seemingly hard times or hard times? Okay,
seemingly.
Don't come for me. Don't come for me.
It could be seemingly for some people,
exactly.
This is the period that they're not staying afloat. In fact, they're off the ocean, so the water has gotten on them. All
right. So today we're going to be discussing ways to advance your business and career in a depressed economy. Ways to advance your business and career. So if you have ever found yourself in that very tight situation, and you don't know how to navigate, you don't know what to do, what decision you're going to take, well, business experts with us this morning is going to tell you exactly. This afternoon is going to tell you exactly how you can get through that. So we have joined us in the studio, Revelation, Ohio. Good afternoon, Revelation, Ohio. It's good to have you today.
Yeah, good afternoon, Queen and Faustina. Glad to be here again today.
Good to have you here.
Good afternoon, our listeners. I guess I missed you. I'll be right if I say that.
Oh, you did? Okay, that's nice.
All right.
We're happy that you did. How's business and career been for you? Are you staying afloat, or are you thriving?
My God.
You're out of the waters.
We just got to do what we need to do. Okay. And I think it's not been very bad. When you mentioned 5,000 naira business, just now, I laughed because funny enough, though I was still going to talk about it much later. I started a business like that. I think 2 weeks ago. And I was able to grow.
Okay, so this is talking about this.
Yes, I just found, talking about a new income stream.
Okay.
Because, one has to always keep looking for something, to bridge the gap. And I found this very beautiful stream. And it converted it grew, not converted, it grew my about 5,000 or thereabouts in 2 weeks to about, should I say it?
Say it.
To about 750K.
Wait, 5,000 naira.
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
Ponzi? No, it cannot be Ponzi, of course.
No,
not
it
you.
can't be Ponzi.
Business.
It can be Ponzi.
Legit.
Yeah.
Business.
Heavily legit. I don't have any reason to say it because I've made the money. And I'm not going to share the money with anybody. But, when you said that, I just laughed because I realized that it's very possible right now. And that's where everybody is right now. People don't have monies to invest in that sense because they are just living paycheck to paycheck. But if they can get opportunities where they can actually put in something little and the system works for them or they work the system, there are two things. It's either the system is working for you or you are working the system. They can actually thrive. And it's been very fantastic. I think within the period, I made some very, very crucial financial expenses that I had struggled with for a couple of months. I just did it within 2 weeks, and it's just like miracle, just coming in and bailing me out. So,
but then you had the 5,000, and you had to put it into something that you had studied the progression of.
Definitely,
that,
I had to work it,
and you knew that if I put this, I'm going
to
get this.
No,
but did you expect that amount?
I was just even ready to risk it because I actually felt at the beginning that this one is not so much to risk. Okay. You understand? So it's not like I was expecting so much, but I saw the potential. But sometimes when people see the potential of a new business venture, what holds them back is not willing to venture, not willing to take a risk, not willing to take a plunge, because they rather hold on to what they have and let go of profits. Because I always teach in my business classes that you cannot lay hold on your money and lay hold on profit at the same time. Your money has to go for profit to come. So if you are so afraid to let go of what you are having, then you cannot profit is not guaranteed while your money is still in your hand.
So you talked about seeing the potentials. Could that be another problem?
Financial education is a problem for a lot of people. They are not educated enough. And that's why, a lot of people who lose money in businesses are people who do not have the capacity, the training, or the expertise to actually evaluate whatever it is they want to go into. So they rely on other people. So you hear them say, somebody told me, you said you are the person that lured me and all of that. It's because, for me, I'm one person who have educated myself, for a couple of years in different areas of business. I come here, I talk about education, I talk about, upskilling, career and all of that. I'm not a career person. But you can see the way I talk about career. I've never done career all my life. I'm a graduate, but I've never worked for salary for 24 years. I graduated from school. I've always been a business person. But I teach people in career what they need to know. You understand? And I also advise career people to don't just stay on career, except you have a high paying end career. Like you work in the oil industry and maybe it's top echelon of the banking industry, or you are in some sensitive sectors of the national, divide that your salary is doing like 500 and above every month. Even people earning 500 and above every month right now, it's just like people who used to earn 50 to 70,000 naira. That's what 500,000 naira is looking like right now. So you discover that those people who used to earn 500, they are struggling right now in so many, because their lifestyle then for 500 was big. Okay. But the lifestyle for 500 now is very small. Go to market and come back twice in a month, your 500 is gone. Yeah. Transportation in a week is taking more than 50,000 naira. So that's what we're talking about. So we can actually do all of this together.
Yes, I think information is important. And like you mentioned, going through the process of learning, getting financial education. I was listening to a financial expert this morning where she was talking about financial institutions where you can keep your money and get a better interest than the everyday regular financial institutions that you probably know. So it's just okay. So let's just get into those ways, because someone who's listening to us said, okay, Revolution Ohio, you want to tell us ways that we can make progress in this economy, in our business, and in our career advance. All right, can we just just get them. If someone has a pen or paper, I'm sure the person is ready to just begin writing.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. You see, there's not so much a promise in this economy. I'm sorry to put it that way, but very bluntly, not in the next 3 months are we expecting things to actually get better. Even with the 13th month salary, I don't think some of us, or some of you who take salary will be able to break even this December, because your take home definitely will not take you home for Christmas. And that is what it is. And of course, it doesn't mean that the prices of goods and services, going into the Yuletide is not on the ascendancy. It's still on the ascendancy. It has not hit the peak, of the season. So, as a matter of fact, just because the outlook, the economic outlook, the forecast is not really looking good, everybody must find a way to actually maximize where they are on the way to where they are going to. And that is why we are talking today how you can actually advance your business and your career in an economy that is sounding and looking very depressing, like ours right now. I have some friends in the UK. They've been planning to bring some business ideas and come invest some money in Nigeria, but they just told me bluntly recently that they don't trust the Nigerian system, that they cannot put their money in Nigeria. Do you know where they went to? They went to Kenya. And that really breaks my heart. Yeah, they took that money to Kenya, close to £1 million. They took it to Kenya. That's a lot of money. Because they said, they mentioned clearly this political instability, the policy somersaults, the unstable financial regulations, all of these things. They are very scary for an average investor. So that is an external investor who could have brought in, FDI, foreign direct investment. What of those of us here who are inside, who wants to invest inside? That's internal. Is it internal direct investment or internal indirect investment? Okay. So one of the things that you need to do at this time is that, first of all, you must actually look at yourself as an individual and find ways to upskill and focus on reskilling yourself. Is very important. Reskilling, upskilling, and reskilling. And we've been just discussing about all of that for the past 4 to 5 weeks here, when we started talking about the gig economy and remote jobs and e-learning and all of that, where you can actually, now you need to look at your areas of specialization or where you are actually at right now and ask yourself, what can I add to what I know to help me enhance what I do better, that will help me enhance what I do better. So upskilling and reskilling, right now, just tweaking what you do a little bit from one end to the other can give you a big margin in terms of difference of what you make in your business or probably in your career. There are people who work in the educational sector. For instance, you are a lecturer or you are a teacher in the secondary school. Sometimes people they do things like extramural lesson. Can you take it a little bit higher? Can you maybe begin to want to do things like learn how to write ebooks?
Okay.
Learn how to do ebooks, how to offer these ebooks on systems and platforms that people can actually buy these books, or set up online classes where people can pay as low as maybe 5,000 naira or 2,000 naira or 3,000 naira, and tell them, if you register, I'll give you my ebook on so topic in this area for free, or you get 4 of my ebooks free if you register for 3,000.
So
people like free
an
things.
Incentive.
So you can use those ebooks to create an incentive for people registering for your class, and choose a very beautiful topic. You don't need to hire a hall to do anything. You can do that on Zoom. You can do that on maybe WhatsApp, whatever, or do it on Google Meet or all of that. And if you are able to get 20 students into a class and they give you maybe 2,000 naira, 2 times 2 is 4. That's 40,000 naira extra money that you can deliver that thing within 1 hour to 2 hours in your house. You don't need to go out. That is what I mean by upskilling. So in any sector you find yourself, you can, even you that work in an establishment like this, you can organize classes for people and get to, add value. Do a simple flyer, put it on social media, make some noise around it, sponsor it with a little money, with 5,000 naira, put some sponsorship around it. People will gather, 5 people will gather. The next class, 10 people will come. The next class, 25 people will come. You understand? So that is one way you need to enhance yourself if you are in the knowledge economy.
Okay.
Yes, if you are in the knowledge economy, you can actually do that. And that is what I mean by upskilling and reskilling. You can actually get some little certifications, probably from all of the training programs we're talking about, professional certification, that can help you probably get a part-time job. I'll give an example. I have a friend whose sister is a teacher, and she teaches in a school. And of course, her negotiation was that she teaches fine art. So they have fine art classes twice a week. And before you know it, she got another school and she negotiated 2 days.
Okay.
Then before you know it, just recently she got another school where she negotiated another 2 days. Okay. So she's doing Monday to Friday. She's doing 5 classes in 3 different schools for at least 1 hour, 30 minutes per class. And at the end of the day, her combined salary is close to 400,000 naira. And there is a teacher in that school who's earning 60,000 naira, and he stays there morning to evening, Monday to Friday, all throughout the month. She can even go to the other school and she's not teaching fine art. Maybe she's teaching sewing. So for her to be able to teach sewing in the other class, in the other school, she has to go and take a course that will help enhance her in that area. In the other school, she has to go and take a course that will help enhance her in that area.
Okay, so the difference Okay, so the difference between the teacher who works permanently in the school and this other lady is the upscaling. And
Upscaling, yeah, and she's in the freelance gig economy.
Oh, okay. Advantage.
You see the advantage. So these things are very practical. You don't have to take it so serious. I have a teacher who is teaching my daughter right now, and I give that young man 16,000 naira every month for just 4 classes every Saturday, 3 hours every Saturday for a month. I'm paying 16,000, and we have other families. We all come together, so he has like 5 students. 16 times 5, that's what he makes. Saturdays alone, and he still teaches in his own school. So upskilling right now and reskilling will actually help you to mitigate. See, even if it has to require something that makes you to get your hands dirty. Listen, people who work, they make more money.
Physically,
yes, like those guys. You close from work. I'm still talking about a teacher. I don't know why. You close from work, and in the evening you go somewhere and you fry these akara bobs in the evening. People coming from work and they get from you. You discover that at the end of the week you would have made from that little evening business what you are not making in your salary in a month. So in this depressed economy, everybody must actually get very, very smart. I think that is going to make sense to somebody right now. Then you must prioritize networking and relationship. This time is not the time you walk alone. Okay, if you walk alone, you go hungry. Lions or animals, that hunt alone, they don't catch the big packs. But when you must bring down a buffalo, a giraffe, or an elephant, the lion needs a pride to be able to do that. It requires a lion pride. I watch those games a lot. That's my favorite on social media. I like looking at how the lion goes for hunting, how the cheetahs, how all those animals,
wildlife.
Yeah, the wildlife. It's my love. So you must understand that you must prioritize networking. Okay. People go to where people go. Try to find out where industry leaders go, where influencers go. So there are programs in town, in the city. Don't stay back and say it does not concern you. Find a way to get among these people. Opportunities runs in those circles. Opportunities runs with relationship. When you get to know people and say, oh, what do? You say, I'm a speaker, I teach business development and entrepreneurship. Then one day something happens. Say, okay, we need to have a program and we should have different classes. We need somebody to teach on business development. And I know there's somebody I know. I met him sometime and he told me, I think I even have his number. That's how they call you. That's how you go there and teach for free. That's how the next calling is going to pay you money. Okay, so you must actually prioritize networking and relationship. Okay. Go to where influencers go to where government officials go. Find a way to find yourself in those avenues where you are able to interact with people who play out in some of those particular industries. It's going to make a lot of difference. We are still talking about how to thrive in a depressing economy. You cannot do it alone. Somebody says when you carry a bunch of broom, it's more difficult to break. But a broomstick is much more easier to break, okay? Right now, there are still ideas that fly. And you find it, you don't get to know until you are where those kind of things are discussed. Okay,
like
and they are
connected to the right.
You have to be connected. Yes. I always make this example that in a big city like London, for instance, I can't use Port Harcourt because I know that public water supply does not hold water here. But a city like London, you discover that city has been designed in such a way that everywhere, including where there are no houses, sewage system and water system has been connected underground everywhere. Such that if you are buying a plot of land and you are building, where you are going to tap your electricity from is ready. Where you are going to connect your water from, where you are going to connect your sewage system to is ready. So that the place is a bush does not mean that those pipes are not there.
All right, Revolution Ohio would pick up from there. Let's just take a commercial. We'll come back and continue with how to advance your career and business in a depressing economy. Let's take a commercial. Just stay with us.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Apostle Paul declared,
I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. 2 Timothy 4:7.
Now it's your time. Will you rise to the challenge?
Come and answer God's call at the Redeemed Christian Church of God 2024 Holy Ghost Congress. Tagged Onward Christian Soldiers from December 9th to 14th, 2024.
Venue kilometer 46 Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Time 6 p.m. daily.
Pastor E.A. Adeboye and other anointed men of God will be ministering.
Don't miss your chance to get battle ready.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
All right, today 95.1 FM Business Today. We have been talking about ways to advance your business and career in a depressed economy. And Revelation Ohio has been giving quite some insights to that. My name is Queen Chima. Welcome back.
And I am Faustina Opuju. Thank you so much for joining. And I hope that, you're really ready because it's really a very depressing economy we're looking at. And you have to be on top of the economy to survive. All right, so we were getting key points, as to how to navigate, how to stay afloat, or how to come out of the waters of this depressed or depressing economy. You did mention the power of networking before we went on the break.
After upskilling.
Upskilling, yeah.
Upskilling and upskilling.
Yeah,
right?
reskilling and upskilling.
Reskilling and upskilling, all right. You talked about a power of networking too. And
yeah, now I was just giving an example to buttress the power of networking. So when there is that pipe carrying that water, or there is that cable carrying electricity, you need to connect. If you don't connect from your house to that center or that point, you don't get light in your house. You don't get water flowing inside your house. Okay, so opportunities that runs in the state, opportunities that run in the country or in certain industries, they don't connect their pipes inside your bank account. You need to have the skill to tap into them.
So that is your responsibility to get connected to tap.
It is your job to tap into it, and that is why you see that places like LinkedIn is a very powerful place to be. A very powerful place to be, a place like LinkedIn.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, you had talked about networking, going out for events, and I was wondering, is it just physical networking?
No, it's not only physical. You can build your online presence, build your TikTok community. I was here, or I've been here for quite a while now. I was sharing with both of you off camera a while ago how for the past a month, going to 2 months, we have registered in the London tech area, for instance, over about 2,000 students all across Africa. That was only possible because we went on TikTok. Okay, so before then, we had to do traditional advertorial like radio and all of that. But the moment we went on TikTok, that number grew. So you can use the power of social media, to enhance your networking. You can use all of those things apart from attending physical stuff. Then another thing, if you're a business person in this depressing economy, you need to streamline your business operations. It's very important. I am not saying you have to sack people. But sometimes, in order to stay afloat, you have to, throw some things overboard. If I'm not saying those people they are like Jonah, but for the sheep to be able to steady, they found a way to throw Jonah off. I'm not saying that people are Jonah, but what I'm saying is that you need to travel light to be able to stay afloat, and that's. Is not only going to be in the area of maybe offloading people from your organization. It can also probably renegotiating with your suppliers and trying to negotiate better deals, looking for alternatives. I was watching a video online, I think this morning or yesterday. I saw these things that they look like worm, very plenty, in a particular container, and the person was saying that you can actually grow these worms and do something with it and mix it with something, and they become feeds for your chicken and your fish. It's much more cheaper to grow those worms and put it in your feed than going to buy the feed directly, and they actually have a better effect on your livestock or whatever you are growing. So as an alternative, so you can have such a kind of effect as well, to be able to, get into doing more of your business. So you need to prioritize your expenses. You need to prioritize your operation. You need to streamline your operations. And sometimes you need to grow leaner to grow bigger. You understand? I don't know if that makes sense. You need to grow leaner. Sometimes, as children, I look at my children, when they want to get taller, they get sick and they now stretch. They'll be looking like, after a while, they will now put on weight and you now discover that they are now taller. You understand? So all of that. So your business sometimes needs to shed some of those excess weight, those expenses you can do without, just to make sure you keep the business afloat.
Find alternatives.
Yes, find alternatives, or to increase your profits. Because the idea now is that you must be able to retain more than is going out from your business. So if your business keeps giving out, and you are retaining less, what happens is that your business is going to have problems going down the line, because what you took to the market this week is not what you are taking to the market next week, because the market keeps growing, like that. So you need to be able to actually prioritize and, streamline your operations, save more. And, sometimes one staff can do maybe 2 or 3 other duties. You as the CEO, you can do more duties than you are doing right now, just to make sure that you are able to get even at this time. So we are talking about a depressed economy and how to keep your nose above the water. And making sure that you're not shutting down your business.
All right. I like the points you mentioned, the CEO as well, because you talked about, the one staff can do 1, 2, 3 things, and then
overloading.
That's like a lot. Looking at, because the CEO wants to, as you mentioned, streamline. But if that one staff is doing 1, 2, 3, 4 things, all right, so the CEO has 1, 2, 3, 4 things to do as well, and then that's the point negotiations come in. All right, you renegotiate terms of contract and all.
Yeah, you can do some little overtime bonus and all of that. Put some incentives in place. Making that, it might not really be maybe sometimes increasing pay astronomically. It can be that you just decide, okay, from this month we are going to be giving lunch package, and you include lunch, very good lunch package for that staff, and food make people happy.
You're talking serious businessman talk.
Yes, food make, and when companies like all these multinationals, when you go to their complexes, you see 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock, they are going for lunch, and you see a canteen and they eat all kinds of food, and you come there, say, wow, you mean your company is giving you this kind of food?
Yeah.
It's not because the company loves them, but the company gets more from them because they feed them than you who do not have any refreshment for your staff, because you feel that you are going to, am I not paying you? Why will I be feeding you? No, if you feed that staff, you get more from the staff. The staff works with joy. You know, when you are fed, the way you talk.
Apart feeding, there are also certain things you can do for your staff,
exactly.
Like incentives that you mentioned, that keeps them up and excited and doing the job.
Yes, listen to them, be a part of their life. Care about what they do. You know, you can even call your staff together. I just know that how you guys even managing the little salary I'm paying you. You know, an employer doesn't want to ask that kind of question. You know, because you are afraid that they might ask for more. How you are? Is there any way I can help? I can support? We might not really be able to increase salary right now, but which other way do you think, as a company, we can come in? Okay, is it by doing maybe get a bus, okay, transport or something? You know, you find a way. By the time you put just little thing, it will just jack up their morale.
Productivity.
Yes, productivity will increase. So you must actually do that. Talking to you as a business person. Then another thing you must do is that you must embrace technology. Use digital tools. The work that those 5 people are doing, which one can technology take off? So you lay off that person, for instance, then I'm not here to advocate that companies should sack. But the truth is that technology will always make more people redundant as we go on. You understand? So as an entrepreneur, find ways to ensure that you leverage the right technology to ensure that there is more efficiency, there is more speed. You understand? Then there is better results. You know, it always has to be doing it faster, doing it quicker, and doing it cheaper.
Okay. Because I was talking to a receptionist, and I was saying to her, instead of a company providing a book for attendance and all, would it be better to get a clock in, clock out device where the staff just comes, you know, and you just leave, and
the matter.
Then you don't have to buy books and books and books. So you're saving your staff time and also saving the company money.
There are systems you can now install in your computer in terms of accounting that, you know, at the point of getting financial data in, by the time you put it, all you need to do at the end of it is just to click a button and a financial statement is generated. You don't need to use another 1 week for auditors. You can call in auditors once in 3 months, once in 6 months to come and look at your books. You understand? So all of those things. So you must find ways to actually use technology. Use e-commerce, advertising. You have 10 marketers. What are you doing with them? Go on social media. Okay, go on social media and go on, you know, leverage technology. You can actually get a lot of mileage. So we are talking to business people. So if you are an employee, please forgive us. We need to help businesses stay afloat.
But doesn't this concern the career person as well? You're talking embrace technology. Does it not affect the
people in career?
Yeah.
Yes, where it can actually affect people in career. If you are working somewhere and you want to embrace technology to do your work, well, if that is permissible within the scope of your work environment, fine. But one way you can really enhance your value or productivity or getting more value as a person who works is by also looking for systems that are automated that can actually make money for you or get certain things done. So while you are in your office, you are actually doing something else that systems are doing for you. For instance, you can pick up a realtor's job. You can pick up a realtor's job part-time. You are a banker. People come in to deposit their money. So you know people that have money. Or at least you meet people that have money. So why not be a realtor? Yes.
Would that not be against
I really don't think so. I have a lot of friends who work in the bank and they bring us big customers who buy lands and they get commission. Okay. So you don't need to take flyer and be sharing it right there in the bank. You understand?
Your own business
but you at least it gives you a fair idea of people who will be able to afford some certain things, right? Then you can pitch to them maybe just in one way or the other. Look,
leveraging the information
leverage the information you have, and you can do 10 plots of land, and 10% of 100 million is what? 10 million. That's your annual salary. Yes, just one property you sell can really. So you can actually leverage technology, be a realtor while you are working. So even you, I have some AOPs I've worked with. I won't mention their name in some of the sister stations. They are heavily into real estate, even as I speak, heavily into real estate. They are selling lands like no man's business. And sometimes you see they bring it on their shows and they just stylishly talk about it, and people are going to call later, and the clients are okay. So those are some of the things that you must actually, as a matter of fact, do. You must leverage technology. Your WhatsApp status is a very powerful tool. Not only in real estate, you can sell merchandise. And your WhatsApp status, is a place where you are selling those merchandise. You have shoes, you have all kinds of things. Then you have somebody who help you do deliveries. You can do ship dropping. Technology enhances all of those things here. So it's not only just that you are doing real estate and all of that. So there are a lot of things you can do. But this technology device that you are holding is a machine that helps you to get into places you cannot actually get into. You have 1,000 contacts, like in my phone, over 1,000 contacts in my phone. What am I doing with it every month? Are they just resting there? So you need to post something that somebody will ask you. I have a group where I'm in now that I don't actually buy food stuff from River State, just a few. I buy from the north, Jos, Kano, and all of that. Somebody just told me about a WhatsApp group, and I got in there. So you see 10 people sharing a bag of onions, and everybody bring 8,000. I drop 8,000 there. 4 days later, they tell me, come to so please, and come and pick your onions. I won't buy that onions 20,000 here. Including if you want to buy live goat, even cow, we buy it on WhatsApp groups right now. Anything you want to, anything food, Irish potato, all of those things. Then over there, you now see people, women, who their job is just to receive this money. They don't buy with their money, they buy with our money. So you have to pay them. So you discover that they get your money. They will be inside the market before they ask you to pay. They will do video. You'll be seeing them say, we're in the market now. They will do video of all of those things and, post it and say, okay, this is this, and everybody, 10 people have paid. Okay, we are buying now. As they are buying it right there, it's going inside the lorry that is coming to LMA market. So in 2 days' time, you have it here. Those guys are taking commission. They've created jobs for themselves. Okay, so those are some, and you can also buy those things because they get here cheaper. You can sell them and buy again. So that's how you can actually leverage on technology. In this crunch economy, it is something you are doing like that is able to take care of food alone. It's something, it will release your salary from a lot of pressure.
Food.
You understand? Food alone.
It takes a lot of money.
So I try to break down some of these topics to make it something that people can really feel, touch. Something you can just leave the radio program and you are thinking of implementation. You understand? So these are not the big figures of how to get into the multinationals and all of that. How you can just keep yourself afloat. Then you need to, so we have talked about streamline. Then diversifying your revenue is another thing. How do you diversify? Some of the things I have been mentioning, borders on diversifying your revenue. Like one I'm going to share at the end of this show, in a jiffy, how I was able to diversify my revenue, and I got close to, is it $250,000? What's a $250,000? $250,000 is 250, right?
250.
Yeah. Okay, that's $750,000. I did it within 2 weeks. Okay, just from my house. I didn't have to leave my house. I just leverage on a system and a platform with just a little money. Like I said, 5,000 naira or 6,000 naira, then we're gone. So you need to diversify your revenue. Look for ways to expand your business offering, new markets you can go into, diversify your income sources. How many ways are you making money from? Apart from salary for the career man and woman, how many ways are you making money? Which other place do you get income from? Now you need to open the front door very wide. Front door is how money comes or where money comes from, and close the back doors. Okay, and back door is already open and it keeps opening wider. The back door is the rent, the school fees, the feeding, the clothes, everything, the drugs, the medicals, and all of that. Those are the back door. As money is coming from salary, you share it to those things and they escape through the back door. Try to limit what goes through the back door and increase what comes in through the front door.
So is this specifically for career people? Or
No, business people can also expand their sources of revenue. Okay. You can't be doing a particular business offline and you have a business running online. It's a possibility. You can actually now look at businesses that are trending for instance, now food is selling massively because everybody must eat. This Yuletide season, clothes and some certain merchandise are going to be selling. Why not get in there and see what you can do? You put in 50 to 100,000 naira, might just be getting you something that will take care of something. So that's what we say. So business people should also look at this season, because there are some businesses that are seasonal.
Yeah.
Okay, so this season there are businesses that naturally will make sense. Why not? In fact, by now you should have been. Somebody told me he bought some gallons of oil some months ago, and he's making, I think, 18,000 or 19,000 per gallon now. I don't know how much he bought them, and it's still going to go up maybe before the end of the year. So people in poultry, like 2 months ago or 3 months ago, you bought maybe like 2,000 beds, and you're able to do the needful. Who knows? A chicken should go for like between 15 to 25,000 naira by this Christmas. So these are ways you can actually. So you can also be a poultry farmer while you are in another kind of business. Mm-hmm. So there are ways you can put these things together. But please do not go into borrowing of money to do a business you are just new at. Don't borrow money to go into a new business. You can borrow money to go into, expanding an existing business. That's very okay. But anything you are not very good at, don't go and borrow money to go and put in there.
Because the person you just mentioned who got oil months ago understands that by this time, the price is going to go up. So I'm buying and I'm hoarding, and then I have to sell this period.
That's
so knowledge,
projection,
information,
good,
studying what you should go to get into is also important.
Good, very, very important. So you must have those ability to project, and make sure that you are able to do that. And if you take these little tips we are giving, albeit you will be able to, like you said at the beginning, deal with your personal economy. Because you don't have the power to control the national economy. You cannot even control the state economy. But you can actually do something about your personal economy. Even when you are in an environment where salaries are not being paid regularly. There are people who will work this December. That salary will come in January. There's nothing you will tell their employer. They won't pay. I don't know if you have seen such. The one they just paid them now is August salary or September salary. So how do you survive? You have already spent those money. You have borrowed in lieu of the next salary. Anything you do, somebody must give you the money to do it.
All right.
With a promise to pay.
All right. Let's talk about the London.
Yes, I have good news today. We started this program, or I started talking about the London Tea Career Institute a couple of weeks ago here, and a lot of people, really have been reaching out, and I believe that a couple of them are already in class right now studying those courses. We have been able to, in the last 2 months or less, enroll close to 2,000 students all across Africa. I have about 200 students from Ghana alone. Have students from Liberia and every other place. The program we are running, I will just recap it again one more time, because we have done the phase 1 and now we are doing the phase 2 of that project. The CNA, the Certified Nursing Assistant Certification Program, we're doing for people who desire to practice their career, beyond the shores of Nigeria. So we are now talking about people who are interested in the, I don't like using the word Japa syndrome, but you want to practice your career beyond the four corners of this country as a nursing assistant. Then the opportunity exists. Our institute, have organizations that have required that we train nursing assistants for them, and of course we are doing a whole lot in Africa right now. Nigeria is a very veritable market, so we are enrolling people all across. The first set of people have finished their courses and gotten their certificates, for which they are very happy. Okay. The value of that course is so much. Even those people who are certified nurses and licensed nurses and all of that, caregivers and all that, they were just amazed at the quality of the curriculum and the course model. So the value is amazing, okay? And if you run a health institution, I think you should get some of your staff to come and take these courses from the London Sea Career Institute. It's going to become a game changer for them. And so quite a large number of people have gotten their certificates right now, and we are now at the next stage, because what we are doing for you after doing your course and getting that certification, then you now need to go through the CV revamp exercise. CV revamp exercise is what we are currently on now. We are helping every student, every individual to upscale and upgrade their CV. Of course, we are now adding the CNA certificate in their CV to meet with international standard. Every employee looking for something very specific from you. So when you submit your CV, the CV you submit to employer A is not the same way you submit the CV to employer B. You must look for what employer B is looking for. Then you are able to customize your CV to meet with that requirement. So we are helping all our students or all our candidates to upscale their CV. Then another thing we are doing for them is we are helping them to do a cover letter. We'll give you an official cover letter from the institute that gives you some level of credibility that you studied and you've done exceptionally well in your studies, and we are recommending you for that job role that for which or we are applying for you. After that, we now go into, I think by next week, we are going to start the employability test and the mock interview. So we conduct what we call employability test. Some people are not just employable. Even with the certificate, they are not employable, because when they go for interview, they don't just always make it through interviews. So we need to now pass you through screening, what we call employability test. We see your deficiencies while you have been failing interviews, even locally, because this one is now an international opportunity. Okay. Then we're able to take you through that. Then we do mock interview for you. People who have done more than 10 years in that industry are going to speak with you, interview you as though you are going for the real job. Then after all of that, we will now package you, apply for the job for you, and now get you to go for the interview directly by yourself. Then at that point, our job is done. So I want to say that we don't get the jobs for people. We don't influence, we don't have the power to influence the decision of the employers, but we prepare you in such a way and manner we feel that you'll be able to scale through all of those processes. Then 3, you don't pay us for this process until you are successful. Until you are successful, you get the job. Probably a lot of these persons are going to go what we call a COS certificate of sponsorship, where those organizations will sponsor you your visa, your ticket. Probably you now go to Australia or go to UK or Canada. When you get there, then of course that is when our contract with you comes into force. As you start the job, then you start paying us. So here we don't collect a dime from you. We take you through that process, and you will be able to get that. So even if 20 students, 50 students, 100 students that are able to get this, it's still going to be a plus for my organization that we've been able to support you to be able to get an international job from the comfort of your home. So that is what the London Sea Career Institute is offering. And of course, we have other courses, project management and all of that, cybersecurity, data analysis, health and social care. We have other courses you can actually do with us with just a token registration fee of £25. So if you convert it to Naira, you should know what that is. So you don't pay the course fee. The course fee comes as a scholarship, £200. So if you pay £25, then you get a scholarship of £200 to actually go for that course. So having done that, so we have now entered the phase 2. So we have a new set of students now who are registering for the phase 2 of the program. So if you want to be in the phase 2 of this program, please, I'll give my number before the end of the show right now, so that you can actually connect with me on WhatsApp. Please, I don't always like when people call. Please, you always do WhatsApp, and we discuss on WhatsApp. I prefer that. Then second, I think for today, I'll just do a bonus. Okay, I did say I had an opportunity that was able to help me grow my little 5,000 naira, and I grew it to almost to $750,000 naira in 2 weeks. It might sound too good to be true, but I am the person it happened to. So I'm not here to come and sell somebody's thing to you. So there are people who might just be looking at the Christmas and say, where do I get money from? If you're in that category, I will be able to suggest to you and also probably guide you I don't collect money from people. I know how those. So I'll be able to guide you and get you into that space. If you follow my instruction, then you'll be able to get at least half of what I got or more than what I got. So if you have maybe 5,000 or above and you're looking for somewhere to actually help grow that little money, and but you must follow instruction.
All right. let's get the numbers as we wrap
All right.
up.
All right. So if you want to get in touch with me, 07089 021144 07089 021144 is the number. So just put that number on WhatsApp and send me a WhatsApp message. I will guide you. Want to register for the CNA course, you want to do any of our professional courses, certificate courses, or you want to actually grow the little money you have. I think by the next 2 to 3 weeks, some of you should be able to call in on this program and say, oh, I got 100K. I got so much from what Mr. Revelation said.
Thank you so much, Mr. Revelation Ohio. Maybe you should just quickly run through that number.
Okay. The number is 07089 021144. 07089 021144.
All right, that's a wrap on business today. I'm sure that you got the information about advancing is important. I'm sure you got it, and even the information about the London Till Career Institute. Thank you so much, Revelation Ohio.
Thank you very much for having me
to the studio.
Thank you so much.
All right, Rona will be on the news update 2:00, and afterwards, Faustina and myself will be here for Talk That Talk. I'm Queen Chima. Good afternoon.
And I'm Faustina Oputu. Thank you so much for joining us.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Want to know what's happening? Get latest information in sports, politics, lifestyle, you name it. The frequency of choice. Today 95.1 FM. Today 95.1 FM. We serve you the latest updates on everything. Today 95.1 FM. We are the voice of the people.
Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News update.
Hello, good afternoon. Here's the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I'm Rona Agbara. The late Chief of Army Staff, Taoreed Lagbaja, will be buried tomorrow, Friday. His burial announcement issued today by the Acting Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General O. Oluyede, on behalf of the Nigerian Army, noting that the service of songs for the late Lagbaja, who died on November 5th, will be held at the Army Headquarters Garrison Parade Ground, Mogadishu Cantonment in Abuja. The service of songs will be followed by a funeral service at the National Christian Center, Abuja, on Friday. Lagbaja passed at the age of 56. According to a statement released by President Bola Tinubu's spokesperson, Bayo Onanuga, Lagbaja passed away in Lagos after a period of illness. Lagbaja becomes the second Chief of Army Staff to die in office in the last 3 years since Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahiru, who died just months into his tenure in 2021. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has attributed the country's epileptic power supply to corruption within the power sector. The chief of the EFCC, Ola Olukoyede, said the commission initiated a probe into the sector, adding that what it uncovered during its investigations would make Nigerians shed tears. Speaking during the visit of the House Committee on Anti-Corruption and Financial Crimes, Olukoyede lamented that contractors awarded projects to supply electrical equipment often opted for substandard materials. He said this practice was a major cause of frequent equipment failures, outages, and grid collapses. The FCC chairman also stated that during its investigations, the Commission discovered that in the last 20 years, capital project implementation and execution in the country were not up to 20%. He said the country could not achieve infrastructural or other forms of growth under such conditions. The federal government spent $3.58 billion servicing the country's foreign debt in the first 9 months of 2024. Data sourced from the Central Bank of Nigeria report on international payment statistics show that the amount represents a 39.77% increase from the $2.56 billion spent during the same period in 2023. According to the report, while the highest monthly debt servicing payments in 2024 occurred in May, amounting to $854.37 million, the highest monthly expenditure in 2023 was $641.70 million, recorded in July. The trend in international debt servicing by the CBN highlights the rising cost of debt obligations by Nigeria. And on the foreign scene, the U.S. says Israel has not breached American laws on blocking aid supplies after a 30-day deadline it gave Israel to boost humanitarian aid access in Gaza or risk having some military assistance cut off lapsed. Officials said that Israel has taken a number of steps to address its demands to surge supplies into Gaza, but added that more progress must be made. State Department spokesperson Vedant Patel cited the opening of a new land crossing and deliveries resuming in the north, although he said he did not any had entered the besieged Jabalia refugee camp. Despite the U.S. claims, the UN has warned that the amount of aid getting into Gaza is at its lowest level in a year. A UN-backed report recently warned that there was an imminent likelihood of famine in northern Gaza, where hardly any aid has entered in the past month. And that was the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I'm Rona Agbara. Many thanks for listening. Good afternoon.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
What's a successful business without sales? And what is sales without an audience? Well, do you know that you can reach 8 million listeners across 6 states in 2 geopolitical zones all at once? How? With Today 95.1 FM, you can get millions of people to know about your business. And what does that mean to you? More sales. Call 081 389 2850 now for more information.
Say no to the ordinary. Embrace the extraordinary, because we are the voice of the people. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1
Every day, we hear reports about counterfeit products, stories of fake drugs, foods, expired goods and other consumables being manufactured, imported and sold to unsuspecting members of the public. Findings reveal that Africa records at least 100,000 deaths from fake drugs-related ailments yearly. These fake and substandard products, particularly drugs, have been considered a global threat to human lives. And despite efforts by authorized agencies in Nigeria to combat the menace, the Nigerian market remains flooded with different unwholesome products. This is a plea to all those who manufacture and sell these goods to desist. Stop this menace of counterfeit products. Let's place value on human lives. And should you have purchased a counterfeit product or unsatisfied with the product, please contact SON or Consumer Protection Agency. This message is powered by Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people.
Live your truth. Express your love. Share your enthusiasm. Take actions towards your dreams. Talk your talk. And walk your walk.
It was years ago. There's a statute of limitation on this stuff.
Make today worth remembering as we discuss issues as it affects Nigeria moving forward. Talk that talk.
Weekdays, 2 p.m.
Exclusively on Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt.
Voice of the people.
Still a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. And this is still Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. Queen mentioned that we're going to be back after the news update. And indeed, we're back to talk the talk.
Absolutely.
There's always something to talk about. Remember we talked about, what was it yesterday?
We talked about what? Yesterday.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, goodness.
So this is me putting myself on the spot and putting you on the spot as well.
What was our conversation yesterday? You should remind us, Oh, goodness. Okay. So we talked the talk and then we just got home and forgot the talk. Left the talk somewhere where we talked it.
So this is what happens when you talk too much. You talk about... too many things, and then you just forget about some. But it's somewhere. We just, along the way or along the line.
We talked electricity yesterday.
Oh my goodness, the powerhouse of the economy.
I hope you remember that. You remember
that's
the
your
line.
quote.
Oh, sometimes you give a quote, and when you don't go back to write it, you don't remember.
So electricity is the powerhouse of the economy of every economy. Queen Chima 2024. Don't forget that. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at another very important sector. And for some people, if this particular sector is well harnessed, it's a very big revenue generator for any economy, be it state or the nation. And so they advise that every government, even if it's the local government, they need to invest heavily in this particular sector to be able to grow the local economy, the economy at the local government level, the state level, and of course the federal level. So we're talking the tourism sector, all right? So it's a very important one, and we're going to be looking at that sector in Rivers State. And I know that when we have conversations about development of a state, especially Rivers State, which is where we are at the moment, people look at certain areas that the Rivers State government can look into to be able to develop or harness the potentials in the different areas. And over time, there have been some activities in that sector at some point, and then nosedived at another point. They try to revive at a certain point, and then all of those. And when you talk about tourism, for some people, what comes to mind in River State? Oh yeah, Kano Reef. And it was just recently that the state government governor visited the tourist beach and said going to revive. And I remember it took me back in time when I used to go there with my dad Sunday evenings to just go chill, relax, and just listen to. There was this guy that used to play music then. He was there, and you just see people enjoying themselves over there. And there are other areas in the tourism sector in River State that people have been talking about looking into so as to do something about reviving the tourism sector?
Yes, because when you talk about tourism, it's a broad industry, right? Broad sector. And I remember some people having conversations on television I think last month, when the president is back from a journey, when he went on his leave.
Oh.
And they were talking about why some persons were highlighting why the president would leave the country. Are there not places in the country where the president could relax or have fun? And questions came up as where where are those places exactly? And it sounded like someone mentioned Calabar. Mentioned the what's that place in Calabar now? Obudu.
Cattle ranch.
And the person said, "What's the state of that place now?" So those questions were flying here and there, and so but you also would have concerns about how state governments have interestingly put a lot of concentration into the sector, tourism. And so we're talking River State. So we're going to begin to highlight what are those areas that should really be looked into. Those places, those spaces. Could it be festivals? That could be a center of attraction. Could it be places, events, and the structures that could be put in place? Well, we'll have all of this conversation this afternoon with
I
guess who said we should not call him something, but rather call him some other thing.
So we have joining us. We at UK. He's into tourism big time, but she didn't. She said we should just do away with the expert boy. Okay, I just mentioned it. I mentioned it, but he's into tourism. He's been associated with the Calabar Carnival and some other, probably just let us know some of those areas that you have been, into. So the listener will know that, this person is an industry expert. So welcome to the show. Talk That Talk on Today 95.1 FM.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, I think you have to...
Let me just help you with it.
Okay.
So you're more comfortable.
Whoa, okay, that's nice. Okay, thank you very much. Forsty?
Nah.
Okay, I'll leave it at Forsty.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
Queen.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on your show. Talk That Talk. Okay, my name is Oyat UK, and I love what I do. And you say I'm a tourism expert, but I think I'm more of a stakeholder, and I have some good experience when it comes to building destinations. And I usually come from the angle of a festival destination, because you need something to draw people's attention to your place before it becomes a tourist destination.
Okay.
And tourism basically has to do with cultural, social, and economic. It has to do with that phenomenon where people move from one place to another place, a place they've not been to, for the purpose of experience. And then when we talk about experience, it could be food, it could be culture, it could be faith-based, it could also be centered around health. And in recent times, like in places like India, we've heard of things like slum tourism. Some people have lived a life where they don't know what a slum is like. So people actually want to go and see and have that experience. So that's basically what it is in the easiest to understand language.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you said I've been part of. Yes, of course, I've been part of the Calabar Carnival. I was there for some years. Then I played a major role in the River State Carnival. I worked as the concert and event manager for RSTDA, and I also.
That's the River State Tourism Development Agency?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, my boss then was, my DG then was Sam Dede. And I also have Andoni Festival and Carnival. As a matter of fact, that's what we have up our sleeves right now.
Okay.
It's the biggest event right now. And then we also have our village carnivals and other ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, River State and the tourism sector, or the tourism potentials, what do you see in that sector in River State? How is it at the moment?
Well, from the practice point of view, I think the sector is grossly untapped.
Grossly untapped.
Yeah, I think so, because River State has so much potential. Let's start with the people.
Okay.
The people one, are very hospitable people naturally. You understand? If you look at the people, and then if you look at the culture is huge, it's colorful. You look at the Calabari, you look at the Okrikas, you look at the Opobo, you look at the Andoni, you look at the Queries. Everybody has something to offer. I mean, I remember when we used to have the carnival then.
Yeah.
The 23 LGAs, they had something to showcase.
Absolutely.
From cuisine to dress sense to
the boat
dance,
regattas.
the boat regatta and all of that. So, I mean, that is the starting point. That is the unique selling point. So we can actually start from there. But unfortunately, we've not had all of that in a long while, you know. But then again, I also want to appreciate some of the communities that have been making efforts to still do one thing or the other. You know,
Like
you see,
uphold.
yeah, you know, uphold some of those things. You hear about Egelige, that's the traditional wrestling festival in some of the upland areas. You hear about the Andoni festival, where we still have the boat regatta. And funny enough, we have a beach in Andoni, a wonderful beach. That's where we usually have the beach party and then the carnival and all of that. So River State has so much to offer. And if you ask me, I think now is the time to have a major shift from what they hear about us, because what they hear about us is not what we are. So there's a need for us to have a paradigm shift and show the world who exactly we are. Why were we called the Garden City? Why? So River State has a lot to show the world, has a lot to give to the world. And I'm not sure we're giving them enough.
What do you think is responsible for this? Because I know that we have, you know, when you started, you talked about people wanting to experience people, places, culture, and all of this. You have food, lifestyle, and the Nigerian food, or even the rivers food. When you begin to think about all the foods that we eat here and how interesting some people find our foods. You know, a foreigner comes and like, oh, we're tasting this and this is nice, and it's not something they've had before. And then we have a couple of festivals here. I think someone was telling me about an Onunu festival.
Okay.
And we have the Bole festival. So, but how is it a problem of not being able to localize these festivals? Are we shifting from the African norms, or maybe Rivers norms or Nigerian norms, and forgetting that this is who we are, and then we can expand on this and make it worth world celebrating? What exactly is the challenge?
Okay, I think the challenge has to do with the mindset of the people. Unfortunately, for a very long time and until now, we all look at oil and gas. Everybody believes you should be working on a rig. You know, you tell somebody, I work with this IOC, or I work with this oil servicing company. The ladies want to be around you. Your family members make you a chief and all of that. But then there's a bigger industry out there, the tourism industry. You understand? And you were talking about, you know, the shift towards the
modern norms.
The modern norms. Now, it's not just about the shift to the modern norms. It's about we realizing that we have something unique that we can give out to the world outside oil and gas. How many people can oil and gas engage? So we spend more time training people, preparing people for the oil and gas industry, instead of training and preparing people for other industries. We have the creative industry. What are we doing with it? You know, I was in Lagos for a bit, you know, interacting, networking, and meeting people and learning some new things just recently. And I realized that in Lagos, every industry is doing well. We're in a gathering where we're talking about the film industry, and somebody, when they mentioned, they talked about Nollywood, they mentioned Asaba, they mentioned Kanu, they mentioned Enugu, and they didn't mention Port Harcourt. Not because we're not good, but because we're not intentional, we're not deliberate, because we don't see much in it. So the only things that happen here are things that are built around oil and gas. Those are the only areas we look at. Those are the only areas the young people look at. Now, Bole Festival showed up. You can't beat the Bole in River State. Because, I mean, I asked my friends in Lagos, how do you eat Bole with groundnuts? Two hard things. How do they go? Not even peanut. It's not even peanut butter. Not the one that is mashed. Not even margarine. You're eating Bole with groundnut. Fine, I respect their choice. I respect their appetite. I respect how they feel when they do it. But my dear, there's nothing as nice. Let me change my voice. Nothing as nice as the Bole in Port Harcourt with fish and that seasoning, that sauce that's spicy and nice. So imagine that we already have an event tied to that particular food. What happened to our fisherman soup? Nobody's looking at it. And seafood is actually one of the most expensive things to buy. That's why, when we talk about the Chinese, we talk about, when you want to take a lady out, you talk about, let's go and have some seafood, something exotic. But what are we doing with them? So we need to look inwards, look at our unique selling point and start from there.
So, unique selling points. You've mentioned the people and then some of probably the cuisines. Are there other areas that you think that we, as Rivers people, would need to look at? Because you also mentioned the intentionality, not just looking, but be intentional about developing those areas. Are there other areas that we need to, look at if we want to develop the tourism sector?
Yeah, I talked about culture. I talked about the dress sense. Can actually have a fashion show renowned. In Akwa Ibom, sorry, I need to make reference to them. There was a fashion event I was part of some years ago. It was called Uyai. Uyai means beautiful or beauty. Those are the things we have so much in terms of dressing. Why don't we have a fashion show where we showcase what we have, our own? The Akwete fabric. Is it Akwete, they call it, that hand-woven fabric we wear and all of those things. The Calabar people, their dress sense is super. The Boni people, same thing. Opobo, same thing. So we can have fashion events where we intentionally showcase our own. If you travel out of this town to a place like, I keep hammering Lagos, but somewhere else. Fisherman soup, once you hear fisherman soup, what comes to mind?
River State.
And it's expensive outside here. So we have culture. We have stories also about the people that we can put in movies. So we definitely must be intentional.
So because we are talking, because I remember you mentioned looking away from oil. That's something Nigeria has talked about for a very long time, diversification.
Yeah.
And each time we talk diversification, the next sector that comes to mind is agriculture. But here we are this afternoon talking tourism,
awesome.
One that River State can explore. Now, what role exactly do you think the government has played so far, and how well have they played that role? You've just been mentioning River State. I think on the entertainment news, or I took where the Lagos governor talked about a creative blueprint that they had for Lagos State, and that's what they've been working on. AFRIF that just ended.
Yeah,
so,
AFRIF, yeah. Yes.
So what has the state government done so far? If you have an idea of what they have done, do you think that's been enough? Because if you have a lot of private players, how well can they function effectively to ensuring that some of these areas that you have mentioned comes out effectively?
Okay, well, I can't speak for the government because I'm not a government person. But I think the state they've tried their best. They're doing what they know. But you need to understand how these things work for you to be able to drive it, for you to pick interest in it. You understand? Like the government needs to also be intentional. You made mention of Lagos and AFRIF. I didn't attend AFRIF, but some of my friends were part of it. But I'll mention something. There's a program I just attended in Lagos State. It was a training program, and it was supported by the Lagos State government. As a matter of fact, it was driven by the Lagos State government, the USAIDF, and one other organization, DDI. And then the private sector was also part of it. Now, what are they doing? They're trained. They try to create an environment for young people to acquire skills that will make them employable. So it's an employability program. You understand? Now, it's designed to drive the creative industry. So you have areas where they train young people on film making and all of that. You understand? So we can also do the same thing for tourism. We can do the same. Why don't we have tourism clubs in schools so that the culture becomes a culture right from the school, from secondary school? The young people start knowing that, look, this is a sector where I can make money. I went to the UAE, sorry. I lived in Abu Dhabi for a while. I did some training there. And two things they have out there: oil and gas, tourism. Those are the two things that drive that part of the world. And tourism is fast. It grows. It's a sector that everybody fits in. It's easy. Entrance is easy. Exit is, let me say exit. Entrance and exit is easy, Job creation, awesome job creation from it. So the government has to be deliberate. There are certain things from policy making, from whatever. There are cases where, the government can say, to drive the tourism sector, we want companies to support us with, or we're going to charge 1% tax on whatever it is as a way of supporting the tourism industry. People pay tax on alcohol. Like every bottle of beer you drink, there's a percentage you're supposed to pay. So why don't we do the same for tourism so the industry can grow?
Okay, now, I'm not going to speak for the government, but then again...
I wasn't speaking for the government either.
Because of the question. Recently, when the governor went to, I think he inspected the Westloxing Cultural Center and talked about how they want to revive that place. And he said they were going to establish... Art and Culture Training School.
Awesome.
So that's an information I just said. Let's just put out there because we're talking about what the government is doing.
Yeah.
But this is just a promise, all right? Of course, you know that sometimes the government will just come out and promise you something. You probably would take them years to fulfill or not. But then again, we'll go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation, open up the phone lines and have you join. We're talking about the tourism sector potentials and, every other thing about River State. So keep it locked down. Today 95.1 FM.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Every time people taste my meals, they always ask me the same thing. What's that? They want to know what's your secret. How do you make it so flavorful and delicious?
I've been wondering the same thing. Your stew always has that rich color and smooth texture. Spill the secret jar.
Tomato Jaw's tomato mix. The tomatoes are grown with love locally. That's why it's so fresh. Just taste it. Tomato Jaw's makes it burst with flavor and yummy goodness.
Wow, this tastes delicious. I need to try that.
Yeah, so you don't need anything extra. Tomato Jaw's with a rich color and a great taste.
Buy Tomato Jaw's tomato mix today. Made with love from farm to kitchen. Manufactured by Tomato Jaw's Farming and Processing Limited.
Apostle Paul announced,
I don't fight the good fight. I don't finish the race. I don't follow the faith. 2 Timothy 4:7.
Now your time, you go face the challenge.
Come answer the call of God for this year Holy Ghost Congress of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. We then call Onward Christian Soldiers from December 9, go reach 14, 2024.
Now for kilometer 46 Lagos Ibadan Expressway, you go shell by 6 p.m. every day.
Now Pastor E.A. Adeboye and other Bunge man of God then go lead the battle.
No miss this chance to prepare for battle.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
All right, today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. The program is Talk That Talk. We have been highlighting the tourism potentials of River State, talking about it. How can River State develop a viable tourism industry? We've been speaking with our guests, Oyet UK, who is a tourism stakeholder, and he's stated quite some concerns. Government concerns, personal, individual concerns about the industry. Well, we will get you to get into the conversation very soon. My name is Coin Chema.
And I'm Faustina Putu. Okay, so before we open up the phone lines, we did talk about, in a way, talk about partnership, right? You talked about, government trying to, or government, how they can partner with some of these organizations or come up with policies where they can involve these multinationals and some organizations. Let's look at partnership with private individuals in the tourism sector. As a stakeholder in this industry, haven't studied the industry here in River State, Do you think that we have that good partnership with the private sector, or is the private sector getting really involved in tourism industry in River State?
Okay, I think the private sector is involved. Yeah, they're involved in tourism industry. Let's look at hotel owners as part of the industry. Let's look at people who own clubs and all of that. That is part of the industry.
Okay.
But that is not enough to make your place a destination. You understand? It's not enough to make your place a destination. I mean, having those facilities complement, the destination. So we have individuals who are doing quite a lot, but like I said earlier on, the government has to be intentional, has to be deliberate. There are different ways they can encourage the private sector. Tax holidays, you make land available for people who are interested in. We don't even have a water park in this town. Maybe some people are showing interest, but when you check the things, the process, the requirements, they may not be conducive enough. You have communities to contend with, you have youths to contend with, you probably have taxes to contend with, you have the cost of land in a place like Port Harcourt to contend with, and all of that. But if the government throws its weight behind people who are interested in such things, definitely they can enjoy some waivers. The government can handle every other thing, and all you do is come and set up stuff. You can enjoy tax holiday for maybe the first 3 years to enable you stabilize, and then you run your thing. So I believe, like I said, the government has to look for a way of ensuring that those who are in the private sector can get a soft landing.
Okay.
And that can only come through being intentional and deliberate.
Because I would want you to highlight those areas in this state that you think should be giving concern to in aspects of tourism. I think I would want you to highlight, maybe those ones that have been their festivals and they're no longer existing. You think, oh, this should come back. This place should be looked into. But I think for 2024 fiscal year, it was 7 billion that was budgeted for the arts, culture, tourism sector. Do you think that's enough, or
Nope.
it could have been
Nope.
more?
Nope.
Well,
Nope.
7 billion.
That's straight to the point. No,
No, it's not. So
You know-
2025 should be more.
I think so. There's something about creativity. There's no price tag on creativity.
Okay.
And it's also part of tourism. You understand? If I come and deliver a poem, if you gather, there's a place a friend of mine was telling me that there's a place in Ghana where people go to learn how to beat African drums, play African drums. That's part of it. Now, back to what you said earlier on. We have tourist destinations, we have festival destinations.
Okay.
You understand? Now, we had this event, the Canary Reef, at the River State Carnival.
Yeah.
And for 10 years now, we've not had that event. Now, I can imagine what that event would have evolved to become by now if we're consistent with it. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. But I'm just trying to share, my own experience and my own opinion on what I think about it.
Right.
Now, the carnival used to have a direct impact on about, 20,000 people were impacted positively by that event. There were people who used to make enough money to pay their rent from 1 week of activities of the carnival. People paid their school fees. Hotel rooms were engaged. People selling things like pure water alone. Because you had a market converge in one place for them.
Yeah.
So they did business. In the days when we were buying recharge cards, you didn't have to top up, electronically. There were people selling, those things there. There were photographers making money. There were creative young people here and there that were being engaged. The ones who could dance, the ones who could sing, the costumiers, the ones who built the floats. The 23 LGs were usually engaged. By now, everywhere will be up in flames, positive flames anyway. Everywhere will be up busy and people will be doing stuff, Now, it's a starting point. We first can make River State a festival destination. When people gather in Port Harcourt, just like they do in Calabar, do you know how many people go in and out of Calabar during December? If we have that kind of thing happening here in River State consistently, or if we had it running for the last 10 years, by now it would have been a festival destination. Now, when people come, take part in your festival, they have a feel of your people. 1 week in hotels, the barbering salons benefit. With time, some people start identifying areas where there's a need. And you see somebody might say, they don't have enough beds in Port Harcourt. What if I invest in a hotel in Port Harcourt?
Right.
Job creation. And the effect is a multiplier effect. You can't build you can't, and that's the good thing about tourism. The good thing about tourism is that it's one sector where when investors come, they bring things there, they don't take the things out. Other sectors, with due respect to oil and gas, they take the things out. They come and take the oil out. But if you're investing in tourism, what do? Let me start with the hotels. If you build a hotel here, what do? You train our people and engage them.
True.
So it has a direct impact and effect on the host community and the people around. So how do you identify a need if you don't know a place, or if you've not been to the place, if you've not had an experience? Is when you go to the place. So an event like Canary River, I think it should come back.
Okay.
Because it engages the young people, they bond, they network, they play together, they discover themselves, they discover their potentials. Some of them who are even losing self-esteem, some of them who are almost frustrated. Talented young men, if they don't see where to vent, to let off some of the steam in terms of capacity, what happens? It becomes something negative inside them. But when they have an opportunity to vent, to let off that positive steam, then you see the glory, you see the beauty. Self-esteem comes back. They believe more in themselves. And most times, and maybe, they stay away from crime and drugs too. So Canary Reef needs to come back.
Canary Reef.
Yes.
Okay. Are there other...
The Canary Reef was a bouquet of events. It also had the boat regatta and all of that. So, if you ask my opinion, I think we should start from there. Then it can now start birthing and doing, bringing about other events. We have Watam. Have you thought of having a Watam festival?
Okay,
where all the
a
people...
masquerade.
Yeah, it's a masquerade. What's wrong with the masquerade?
No, I
It's
just...
us.
Because you said Watam,
Okay,
and then someone...
You know what it is, right?
Yeah.
So imagine if we had a Watam festival. What if we had a heritage display where the entire River State gathers to showcase their colors in terms of heritage, their masquerade? Do you know how many masquerades we have in Andoni? In Andoni, we have a masquerade that a big, like a crocodile that moves on the ground. The Okrikas have their own. The Boni people have their colors. The Opobo people have their own. So can you imagine if we have a converge, a heritage display and parade? Of course, people will show up. People travel all the way to, what state is that? Is it Oshun? Is it Oshogbo Festival? All the way to see it. I remember also in Calabar, the Cubans, the Ekpe masquerade was traced and tied to people in Cuba. There was a period that the Cubans came to Calabar to play the Ekpe masquerade with their people. Ancestral connect. In Andoni, in our festival this year, we're going to have our people from Ohafia, because we also have a connect. They're going to come and be part of the carnival. So it's a starting point, and people are showing interest in Andoni. Like I said, we'll have a wonderful beach. I don't know if you'd like to come. I'm inviting you.
Okay.
I'd like to.
That's one place.
I'd like to come.
Beautiful.
Now,
VIP treatment.
That's one place that, when we have conversations around tourism, people have pointed fingers there. You want to look at Ikuru Town, Ikuru
Awesome.
Beach, and then the... Oyorokoto,
the fishing port.
Yes.
The elephant.
Exactly. That's one area that people have talked about, and telling the River State government to look towards that direction, do something about it, so that we can begin to attract people from all over the world to come to River State. Now, you want to talk about the largest fishing settlement, as I think in West Africa.
Yeah.
Something can be done around there so that it attracts people. Like you said, tourism is about, attracting people to a particular place. So you have to have that thing to attract people, and you have to do something about it.
Do you think this attraction, that's if the River State government says, okay, you know what, we're going to put so much effort into tourism from today. Maybe they are listening to this program, listening to you, right?
They are listening,
and say, oh, we're going to put so much into tourism. And now, for Sinus talking about attraction, do you think that Nigeria or even River State, that the pace of attraction will be fast?
Of course.
You think so?
Of course. You know the good
Because
thing about...
there are lots of things to consider. Because some people might be asking, are there not other areas that we also need to look into? Talk about security, for especially if we're looking at international attraction.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, security is key. Security is key. Security is key. I mean, if you want to drive tourism, security is key. But I mean, River State I think it has improved in terms of security, and I believe it will still continue to improve by the day. But you see, there's something about ownership, community ownership. Permit me to use Cross River as an example. I was in Cross River when they were building Tinapa. And they were building a cement company then at the same time. And a lot of young men and women were engaged in the project. Do you know what happened? Crime dropped. Because they were busy. Yeah. Once you start appreciating and enjoying life, your value and respect for life appreciates. So you avoid anything that will take your life. But if all you see about life is the other side, frustration, and this is not working, that is not working, that is when you want to cross the desert. You want to go on foot through the desert to another man's country where you think things are working. So I mean, now a place like Oyorokoto, if you ask me, Oyorokoto has capacity to attract the world. But people have fears that is it secure? Is it secure? How about the people who go there to do business? Is it secure? Would they do business if it wasn't secure? So I think for me, the only challenge will be accessibility. Thank God the governor has given a contract for a road, leading to Yorokoto. The day I heard it, I had to open a bottle of champagne and celebrate. It was awesome. So people can actually believe here and know that what we're saying is the truth. It's right in front of the ocean. It's the biggest fishing port. You have people from Ghana, from Akwa Ibom, Yorubas, everybody's there. It's a Cosmo kind of place, But if we're going to use it as a destination, I would advise that it should be allowed to remain in its natural state. Because that's the catch. So you can have your condos or you can have your 5-star or 3-star hotel, look for a place and set it up, so that visitors can come, chill, enjoy the ocean, enjoy the aquatic splendor, and also have a one-on-one with that natural aqua commerce activity that goes on there.
Okay, so time for us to open up the phone lines and have you join the conversation. You're listening to Talk That Talk on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. We're looking at the tourism sector in River State, looking at the potentials. And I guess has gone beyond the potentials to highlight other areas when it comes to tourism. So we have been speaking with a stakeholder in the tourism sector here at UK, and time for you to have your say on the program. Maybe you want to highlight more areas that the government and any other person can look at, every other stakeholder can look at. Maybe you enjoyed certain activities in the past.
You mentioned one, right? We cannot, and you also said over 10 years the Kanu Reef, yes. So, and you want to relive old memories, and you're wondering what happened, because it seems we're moving so fast with several conversations that we're letting go of very important conversations. That's why we thought to bring this up. So you want to relive those moments and then just pour your heart, and you know what, the government has to do this. Guest said 7 billion. 2024, 7 billion, not enough. Or maybe 2025, it should be more, and then so much other things that should happen. So call us up and let's get your thoughts. 0817 0000 951. 0810-9510-951 for calls, and for text or WhatsApp messages 0701-9339-962. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Queen and Faustina and your guests. Wow, this is Lawson calling from Yenagua. Beautiful presentation. Honestly, I tell you, beautiful presentation. But very thorough presentation. The problem is implementation. Who will implement all of these beautiful things he's talking about? Here in Nigeria, we don't believe in all of these things. So we have the potential for growth, but nobody is looking at it. I mean, these things have been there. Even in River State, we are talking about. Look at the number of industries that were in River State growing up. that I was seeing everywhere. Where are they today? As people look at River State, they have wetland. They can grow rice, any amount of rice they want. But how many rice are they growing? We just look at only oil and gas, and then at the end of the day, we cry that we don't have enough. We don't have. God has so blessed this country that sometimes I wonder the kind of people that are in it. I don't know. Maybe sometimes I want to blame God for it because He has given us so much. But the kind of people that are in it is the problem. But I want to ask him a question because he talks about art and culture. Now, the churches, they have big problems. Today, if you go to so many houses, beautiful artworks have all disappeared from their parlors because some pastors think that some things possesses them and operate at night. Even the festival that Obasanjo hosted in Festac 77, the art and culture that he brought so many artworks to Nigeria. And the Christians are saying that is the problem Nigeria is facing. That by with that's why Nigeria is not growing again, because so many evil spirits came to this country from other African countries. So how are we going to put all of this together, given what he is saying is the question I'm asking him? Because the Christians today, we have a large number of Christians. They don't, even the canary Christians most times don't even participate because they feel it's juju worship.
Okay.
So let him talk us through that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Los.
Well, I don't know. Should I say something? I think he was talking about the kind of people that are in Nigeria. I think we have the best kind of people in the world in Nigeria. There's the issue of churches. You know, things that are faith-based are very tricky. You know, it's I'm a Christian. My late father is an Anglican priest, so I know what it is. I know what Christ is about and what He stands for. But then I want to take our minds to an event like Notting Hill Carnival in the UK. Notting Hill Carnival, the way it's designed, even churches take part. You know, festivals are different festivals. You know, he talked about Festac. It's just about the mindset of the people. If you want to change a person, if you change his clothes, sorry. If you change his hairstyle, sorry. It starts from the mind. So our people need to understand the fact that certain things represent what we stand for. When I was in the university, I used to send some artwork for sale in England. Then that Festac face, I used to send a bronze one, and I made so much money. I used to send them wooden craft work and all of that. I used to gather them and send to the UK for sale. And if you know how much I used to make then when I was in the university, those things are unique things.
Okay.
Brazil they still do their Brazilian carnival. If you know how many people go to Brazil because of that. But has it made things horrible for them? So when we say, our masquerades or carnival, this, that, those things are fetish. Well, to those who see it as fetish, well, for me, I see it as colors and I see it as identity.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Faustina and Queen.
Welcome.
And greetings to our guest.
Very much.
I only hope and pray if the government of the day is listening. When this Port Harcourt in River State, when the cannery has been mentioned in particular, what became a spectacular occasion, an event that people around the world flying into River State to enjoy themselves. We had a government that came in, the last administration, killed it. But now, let me tell you, I want to recount with nostalgia, just a few seconds.
Okay.
I participated in Canary. It was an opportunity that I can never forget. The highlight night I performed that day. I didn't campaign. I only sent my music to the body that were in charge. I was invited. And I performed. My wife, my family were around there. You know, they're my senior colleagues. The lot of left in the bull, the rest of them, Vice President was at the same stage, but they were down. When I finished, I came down. You can imagine the welcome. You know, the car. The man came in and carried it. Carried it. An opportunity given to people to show their talent. So I started the big stage. What from Jamaica come here? They carried it. I just pray and hope that Similarly Fubara should listen to programs like this. It's not about me. It's about us. It's about our state. It's about our heritage. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Mr. Robin Maja. You didn't tell us you're an artist now. Thank you so much.
There's a message on Facebook. I think I really want to take it because there's a picture of a beach. I don't know if you identify this beach.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see. It looks like Andoni because that's the only...
Okay.
Yeah, this looks like Andoni Beach.
All right. The person had to put the message and also send the picture
yeah.
of it. He said, River State and federal government seems not interested in the tourism sector. We have a lot of tourism potentials, but none is put into use. Come to Andoni and see the ambient environment over there. The black elephants... at Ilotombi to Oyorokoto and down to Ikuru Town, in Andoni local government area.
Yep.
Come and see the longest Atlantic beach. This is one of the life at the beach that Chief, led government of Andoni for the past 3 years took Rivers people to. It's always wow to me, and I enjoyed every season of my life at this beach, but no place to relax. Once night falls, everyone leaves the beach. The state and federal government should invest by building hotels, road infrastructure, and cage the wildlife there to scale up our economic base of our dear state.
Awesome.
Okay, so a text message. This person says, Fortune greetings, Sister Faustina. If I may ask, please, is airport hotel part of tourism industry? If yes, my question is, why has that edifice left in that state? Now people come into the state from the airport. Upon seeing that airport hotel in that bad shape, I wonder what would be going through their minds about the state government. Do you know how many people that will be employed there, thereby earning their salaries? Please, whoever is concerned should immediately get that building wearing a new face. Iberichiku, Port Harcourt. Please, how can I get in touch with the guest in the studio? I want to do business with him. Can we get his social media handle or contact? All right, so he would give that information, social media maybe, and or maybe he will get in touch with you. Okay, that works.
I'll probably leave my number.
Okay. So I think I'll just do one more call and we'll wrap up the conversation. Okay, so let's go. Hello.
Good morning, Faustina Queen, and to the guest.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sorry. Hector. You see, your guests have spoken extensively. River State, we have so much tourist potential. But it's unfortunate that successive government has not been intentional. They have not taken anything serious. Look, like you mentioned, the riverine areas like the Oyorokoto, the Okobo, the Calabari houses. There are so many Atlantic fishes, sand fish, with blue water, local fire here. But it's unfortunate. We think that these areas are remote to the main city. But government can still do something about it. Talking about Oyorokoto, the largest fishing settlement community in West Africa. Do you know that if that place happens to be a place like Lagos or Southwest, then we sell it to the world. We are not selling her to the world. Our masquerade, colorful masquerade that we have in the riverine areas, we don't sell it to the world. But if we are insisting and agitating that multinational should relocate to the south, the River State, their headquarters. Perhaps there are things that these people are enjoying in Lagos. Why is it that the entertainment industry is dying in River State?
All right.
They are all relocating to Lagos because these things are not there. Everything is there in Lagos for them to excel, to do well. But there is politics.
And more politics. Thank you.
I just pray that our government is listening to programs like this so that they will build on it.
All right. Thank you so much. That's our final call.
Yes, let's just take this message. Hi, Faustina and Queen and the guest. Does it mean that our leaders don't have anything on their head to offer? Because sometimes I wonder why will they wait for somebody to give them ideas for them supposed to know, or did they not know it? Just look at all what he said there, Eric. All right. Of course, the government also needs technocrats they work with, experts too that bring in the ideas. It's It's a synergy, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So.
Okay, so let's have your final words on the show in under a minute.
Okay, I want to pick on the word intentional. I want to stand by it. We have to be intentional about everything we do in River State as far as tourism is concerned.
Okay.
And if we are intentional as a government and as a people, trust me, we will draw the needed traffic and attention to River State. There has to be a paradigm shift. We can't be head for, you can't be talking about River State only for the politics and all of that of the day. There are more beautiful things in River State that people need to know.
Okay, so like the other caller said, we need to sell ourselves out.
Yes, we have to.
And we have to be intentional about it.
Definitely.
Okay, that's our show. Thank you so much, Oyet.
And sorry, just 10 seconds. I just want to say that I'm also available for any ideas. As far as it has to do with River State and tourism development, I'm available to do anything and contribute to the growth of the state.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's amazing. That's the voice of Oyet UK, a tourism stakeholder. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time on the show.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your calls and messages. We appreciate you. 3 o'clock, the sports crew will be here for updates in the world of sports. My name is Queen Chima. Good afternoon.
And I am Faustina Oputu. Thank you so much for joining us.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
On this day in history. On this day in history. On this day in history. Today in history, 13th November. In 1907, French engineer Paul Cornu made the first free flight in a helicopter, marking a significant development in aviation history. In 1956, the U.S. Supreme Court declared Alabama's bus segregation laws unconstitutional, achieving a major victory for the civil rights movement. In 1966, defense ministers from 7 African countries established the Central African Defense Organization, the CAD, a military alliance intended to provide mutual security. In 1974, a technical glitch led to a significant stock market shutdown in New York, affecting global trading activities. In 2015, ISIS claimed responsibility for a coordinated terrorist attack in Paris, which resulted in multiple fatalities and injuries, leading to increased global counterterrorism efforts. And in 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic surpassed 53 million cases worldwide, with nations grappling with health, economic, and social challenges. On this day in history. On this day in history. On this day in history.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Today's news in 60. Cybersecurity Experts Association of Nigeria, SESHON, has called for concrete actions to strengthen cybersecurity awareness in Nigeria amidst increasing reliance on digital technologies. The West African Telecommunications Regulators Assembly has come up with recommendations to harmonize consumer rights and establish standardized complaint handling procedures across the region's telecommunications sector. The country's biggest telco, MTN Nigeria, has reported that its data revenue reached 804 billion naira in the first 9 months of 2024, surpassing voice revenue as data demand surged across the company's user base. And on the foreign scene, Apple is planning to launch a well-mounted display that can control appliances, handle video conferencing, and use artificial intelligence to navigate apps. Today's news in 60.
Say no to the ordinary. Embrace the extraordinary, because we are the voice of the people. Voice of the people. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM.
What's a successful business without sales? And what is sales without an audience? Well, do you know that you can reach 8 million listeners across 6 states in 2 geopolitical zones all at once? How? With Today 95.1 FM, you can get millions of people to know about your business. And what does that mean to you? More sales. Call 081 389 2850 now for more information.
This is what we've waited for. The showdown. The fastest men in the world.
Hearts racing.
1 light, 2 lights. They're backing off and backing.
Pulse rising.
Who will come out on top? Who'll take 3 lights, 4 lights. He's ready to be the star.
The anticipation.
Powerful, strong. Time, Tyson Gay right. Hold all the way.
The heart stops. Catch the Sports Gang on Sports Attack Mondays through Fridays, 7:30 a.m. and Today's Sport Live, 3 to 4 p.m. and also on the weekends, 1 to 6 p.m. Only on your premium sports radio. Today, 95.1 FM.
Hello, my name is Kanu Wanko, aka Papilo. For the latest and trending sports stories, always listen to Today Sports Live on Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt.
The last international window before the end of the year. The next one begins in March 2025, and Nigeria is scheduled to take on Benin Republic in the second to the last group game of the AFCON 2025 Morocco qualifiers. And Nigeria needing just a point to qualify will just be almost certain after they take on the Beninois side at the Felix Ofe-Boigny Stadium in Ivory Coast, a familiar ground for the Nigerians as they played many of the matches there during the last edition of the Africa Cup of Nations. So it's international window. There's going to be so many national team assignments for so many countries. Of course, the Euro Nations League equally return in this particular international window as well. Great to have you join us and a very good afternoon to you. This is the midweek edition of Today's Sports Live, reaching you from this particular frequency today, 95.1 FM, situated in the Garden City of Port Harcourt. My name is Reliable Reliance O'Daniel. I am your reliable radio spokesman, the classical gentleman. These days I'm being called the man with one in the world of sport, and I do have the company of the guys on the other side of things ready to sink their teeth into the topical matters to be discussed this afternoon. The ATP finals ongoing, and Yannis Sinner is 2 out of 2. Not dropping any set thus far. So it's going to be incredible ATP finals in Turin as Carlos Alcaraz began with a loss. What's to hope for from the Spanish, who has been brandished the one to represent or maybe to take over the throne of the muscle man from Mallorca. His name is Rafael Nadal. Let's introduce the other guys. Starting with Young Chuks Chikuzite. Good afternoon to you.
Elias, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Carlos in the studio, and good afternoon, Port Harcourt City. I think it's great to be here talking about sport entirely. So you say boring week, or maybe the enticing club football is not going to be having a lot of fun this week, but we see the Nigerian scene, the Nigerian aspect of things. I think we'll get joy from the Nigerian aspect. I hope so.
All right, that joy will come from Austin Ogovine beating Benin Republic 3-0 to get 3 maximum points, and the match against Rwanda could just be a formality taking place at the Gospel of Akwabi International Stadium. What a time it's going to be for Nigerians to celebrate, because coming back home with the mindset that you've already qualified for the AFCON, so it's just going to be about celebration, and that's why today 95.1 FM have equally put down something for you to celebrate the AFCON qualifiers for Nigeria. It's going to take place at Flash Lounge number 6, Rumahalu, Lakaya Link Road. We will be there by 4 p.m. on Monday, so come join us. In the meantime, Henry Ogugwa makes a return. Henry, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Reliance. Good afternoon to my colleagues and to our lovely listeners out there. Great to be here.
And I do have Gift Ejego in the studio as well. Good afternoon to you, Gift.
Good afternoon, Reliance. Good afternoon, PHCT. I'm so delighted to be here.
I was about to introduce Ifonanya Obemendukwe, but she just ran out of the studio. That's our editor, by the way. All right, so we have matters to talk about. The Nigerian Super Eagles. Manchester United returns to the bulletin. Real Madrid in the bulletin. Liverpool as well in the bulletin. And a bit of Victor Osimhen going here, going nowhere. We talked about it yesterday that Newcastle United are in the into the race, reportedly into the race to sign Victor Osimhen, but it's getting quite interesting as the Napoli chief have said that, look, Osimhen is not going to be signing for Galatasaray permanently because they can't afford the man, but they do have offers from other places coming in for the Nigerian international, the reigning Africa Cup of Nations. So trust me, this January transfer window will be spoiled in the positive sense with so many stories about Victor Osimhen, whether it's leaving Galatasaray after the loan deal is staying, or is leaving in January, or where is he going? Because it looks almost certain that he's not going to be continuing his career with the Neapolitans this particular season, all right, or even the next season. The SMS on WhatsApp portal is there, 0701-933-9962. That is 0701-933-9962. That's for your reactions. As for the phone lines, I'm pretty certain you know the passcodes. So we start proceedings this afternoon from Turin, Italy, where the ATP finals ongoing as we speak, as world number one Yannick Sinner made it 2 wins in a row at the ATP finals with a 6-4, 6-4 success against Taylor Fries in the rematch of the US Open final. Fries put the world number one through his paces in the early stages of a fabulous contest at the Inalpi Arena in Turin. The 23-year-old, however, raised his game when required to register a big win to improve to 23-1 in his last 5 tournaments. Elsewhere, Medvedev, that's Daniil Medvedev, claimed a dominant 6-2, 6-4 victory over Alex de Minaur yesterday to move back in contention at the ATP finals. Medvedev came into the fixture after a dramatic loss against Taylor Fries on such racket and earned a penalty point for smashing a courtside microphone. But the 4th seed looked considerably calm during his straight set win over de Minaur yesterday. So that's how it is at the moment. I'll let you in on how the standings are in the 2 groups. But you sure know one thing: Sina is 2 out of 2 chooks, and you're thinking if Carlos doesn't step up, it's likely that no one's stopping Sina from getting away with the season-ending tennis trophy.
It's called the top 8 for a reason. It's more likely that the big guns and big guys actually played the world of tennis, how they rank and how they actually play together and try to actually get this championship. Yeah, you say Kasparov actually tried to give Alcaraz his run for his own money, winning him 6-1, 7-5. But it's said the rank this way now, the ranking of Kasparov, Taylor Fritz and the rest of them, they are actually major key players in the tennis world, especially when the top 3 has actually left the scene. I would say we're still putting Novak Djokovic for some period, but you've seen the major factors of this top 3, and Rafa Nadal and Federer has dealt. So most likely you see names that are new. Tommy Paul is still around the corner. You see Taylor Fritz, you see Kasparov, Alcaraz, but you see favorably it's only the top 2 you have seen. Alcaraz and Sinner. Yeah, one might have a bad game, but it does not make that one should be free or free-handed in the competition. This is the first game for Alcaraz, so let's see his second game. Medvedev lost his first game too, and so he bounced back to the second game. So let's see how it goes for the second game for Alcaraz.
All right, at the moment it's in Group A. It's Yannick Sinner topping that group with 2 wins out of 2, followed by Taylor Fritz, who has won 1 out of 2. Then Daniil Medvedev will come in third with a win out of 2. But for Alex de Minaur, he has lost his 2 matches played at the ATP. While in the other group, Alexander Zverev started with a win, Kasparov started with a win, Andrei Rublev lost, Alcaraz lost. By the way, there are matches to expect today. I'll let us in on those fixtures at the ATP finals. Henry, it was looking as if the toughest group was Group A, where you have Yannick Sinner, Taylor Fritz, Daniil Medvedev, and Alex de Minaur. In Group B, you have Alexander Zverev, Kasparov, Andrei Rublev, and Carlos Alcaraz. But probably you have a different opinion about the toughest group, but it looks like Yannick Sinner will just be running away, winning all the group games, irrespective of how tough that group may have been or is, according to general notion.
Well, I mean, when you look at the groups, I think everything is just being probably set at this point in time. Some people might want to say Group A, the one with Sinner, Fritz, Medvedev, and de Minaur seems to be the toughest group based on the year 2024 these guys have had. But I mean, you can't also overlook the fact that Alcaraz, Zverev, and Rublev, although Rublev could be said to be, could have had, he had a good year, but compared to these guys, it was more topsy-turvy. You might want to say it might be a weaker group, but I think this is the ATP finals. We're talking about the top 8 ranked players of the year, so there's definitely no way any group is easy. You're talking about the 8 most informed players in the year, so that's like it's like every game is like a quarterfinal, so it's like a semi-final. So it's never going to be easy. Yannick Sinner is coming here in a blitz and in a form that definitely or probably you don't want to play him at this point in time, and it's coming in with a lot of belief. It's like for Alcaraz, he's been waiting for the year to just wind down. That's probably been it for Carlos Alcaraz, especially after Wimbledon. Just like he's been waiting for the year to wind down. Not really much energy from him as regards, but Sinner started like a house of fire, but it's not a guarantee still at the end of the day. Let's not forget that it's not a guarantee at the end of the day. Maybe you could tap into Coco's own what she did in the ATP finals. You could tap into that, but I think he definitely he's through to the semi-finals. But I think you still have to be careful about who you get to play in the next round, because I mean Alcaraz will be tough, Zverev will be tough, Kasparov will be tough. Maybe a Rublev might not really be as tough as these other candidates, but let's wait, let's watch. I think we just have to keep our fingers crossed, because I mean the group stages is different from the knockout rounds. It's not Uhuru yet for Yannick Sinner, but he's crossed the first hurdle. That's the most important thing at this point in time. So that belief and confidence is definitely going to be there for the man.
All right, on court as we speak is Carlos Alcaraz taking on Andrei Rublev, and Alcaraz has won the first set 6-3. We are into the second set as it is, and it is even as 3-3. That's after 6 games played. We are going into the 7th game of the second set with Alcaraz having to serve for this particular game. So we keep you updated. Sports Talk returns tomorrow 6:30 a.m. and of course you definitely get to hear the latest. Who is the favorite for you to win? Is it Yannick Sinner? Do you see him getting it all through to the final without dropping a set, winning all the opponents in front of him to eventually emerge champion? of the trophy that is being held at the moment by the man who is not playing, Novak Djokovic. Let's know your thought. Alexander Zverev, Casper Ruud comes up much later. We leave Turin, Italy. We come back to Nigeria, but let's take a trip to neighborhood country Ivory Coast, where Nigeria are currently camped waiting for the encounter against Benin Republic. Geno Ross-led side, because as the Super Eagles of Nigeria prepare to take on Benin Republic and Rwanda in the final phase of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualification series, interim coach Austin Ogovoin will be relying on the searing form of its frontmen, Victor Osimhen, Victor Boniface, and Ademola Lookman, who have been consistently among the goals for their European clubs since the start of the 2024/2025 season. The strikers have been in the best of forms, and of course, you can call that the best form of their lives, and will be expected to prove their mettle against the Cheetahs of Benin Republic at Stade Felix Ofe-Bonyi in Abidjan on Thursday, being tomorrow, and the Amavobi of Rwanda at Gospel of Power International Stadium on Monday. The three players already have 34 goal contributions combined, with more than half of the season still to play, coincidentally on 8 goals apiece. Lookman is enjoying his best moment in front of goal and is in the running to dethrone compatriot Victor Osimhen as CAF Best Player of the Year. The 27-year-old enjoyed a near-perfect 2023-2024 campaign, and the current season even better, with the player having found the back of the net on 8 occasions, providing 5 assists. Despite missing the first few games of the season due to future uncertainties at Napoli, Osimhen has entrenched his name as one of the best strikers in modern-day football, with 8 goals and 4 assists in 9 appearances. Napoli's 130 million euros price tag on the 25-year-old is more than justified. Completing the fearsome trio is Boniface, who is already Bayer Leverkusen's top scorer for the season with 8 goals. Aside from registering his name on the score sheet on those occasions, the 23-year-old has provided an assist, taking his goal contributions to 9 in 15 games for the German side. No other country in the world, as we speak, boasts of such an intimidating attack, and Ogovoin will be looking to terrorize the Cheetahs in Ivory Coast and devour the Amavubi in Uyo to send a message to the rest of Africa ahead of Marrakesh next year. The big question is, how does Ogovoin combine this form and make it to work in the next 2 matches? I want you to come in, Henry.
How does it combine? I don't. Frankly speaking, it's by finding a way to make them play together. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. We all know what Ademola Lookman brings to the table. We've said it time and time over and over again. The man might look like he might, or you might want to play him out wide, but he's not a winger. He's someone that you feel or you look at and you see him operate better when he gets to talking and play closer to the striker. There's a small matter of Chukwueze, there's a small matter of Simon Moses, Victor Boniface, what's his name? Victor Osimhen. Look, it's a tricky game. Also, let's not forget this. Benin Republic needs a victory or to avoid defeat themselves, because Rwanda, if Benin Republic suffers defeat, or let's paint the scenario they do not win and Rwanda wins, they are condemned to us beating Rwanda on Monday. And there's no guarantee for that. So it's going to be a different ball game. That means their destiny will not be in their hands. So the only way to make or put their destiny in their hands is when Nigeria plays, or when they play Nigeria tomorrow, they have to beat Nigeria. So it's very tricky. So I'm probably looking at the situation whereby Guavon has to play 3 at the back, and it may be a 3-4-2-1, and that's probably what I was looking at and thinking, maybe a Boniface and Lookman behind the Victor Osimhen. I think if you want Boniface, or you were in a situation whereby we do question Boniface's ability to take up certain spaces in the box like he should, or a normal striker should, or the fact that he caresses the ball too much or doesn't make, I mean, toe pokes. A toe poke is a goal. A goal is a goal. I mean, if you use your back heel or your knee to get the ball into the back of the net, all that matters is that it's into the back of the net and it's a goal. But it's sort of like he wants to caress the ball, he wants to beautify it, he wants to add the finesse. So there's been that complaint. There's also been that complaint that he doesn't take up those positions that you expect or you see a Victor Osimhen actually take up. But Victor Osimhen is a different caliber or monster of a striker.
Yeah.
We have goals in Boniface, but it's about finding a way to unlock it. See, I think it's about finding that balance. The funny thing is that the balance might not even involve Boniface starting. That's the funny thing. It might not involve Boniface starting at all for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Like I said, there's still a small case of a Samuel Chukwueze and a Simon Moses. Yes, Samuel Chukwueze has picked up seriously for AC Milan since the last international break.
Yeah.
And we all know that the man can offer something like... So it's just about the coaches looking at that team and saying, how do we play these guys together to bring the best out of them? How do we play them also to, as much as possible, reduce the defensive responsibility to enable these guys be as effective as they should?
Yeah.
It's not like saying that they won't defend. Actually, football today is different. People defend from the front. You press, right? You expect your forwards to press. So that could be them adding their own quota at the end of the day. So how do we make it work? Will a 4-2-3-1 bring out the best? Will the roles we interpret for them bring out the best in them? These are all the factors that Guavon should be looking at. But I don't know. Let's wait and see. The thing is that the last two international breaks, he has been really unlucky to not really have the full complement of everybody because Osimhen has not really been fit the last two international breaks. Now, finally, it looks like the man is at least 80 or 90% fit enough to start any of these games. So let's see what they walk around or what he plays around with. But for now, I'm not sure what he can do at this point in time.
All right, gifts. 34 goal contributions for Ademola Lookman, Victor Osimhen, and Victor Boniface. 8 goals apiece, and of course, a couple of assists to add to that. You look at other countries in the world as we speak, and you barely find a country that have that kind of front three being so prolific in front of goal for their respective clubs. Do you see them bringing that form when they play Benin Republic tomorrow?
Well, the three of them, they're actually good, but we in games like this, we sometimes see how they perform very well, and sometimes they underperform, and we are just hoping, that's what we are hoping for them to showcase their prowess and see how they can score goals as usual. But for tomorrow's game, I'm just keeping my fingers crossed, because a game we can't actually predict. We can't actually tell the next action in line who is going to make that difference. Who knew Dele Bashiri could actually do something?
It was called, yeah.
While Victor Boniface, who was being called up, like he was like the go-to man. Lots of people were like vouching for, and then couldn't do anything. So these three, they have been doing actually absolutely well for their clubs, and club football is kind of different from national football, and depending on as Henry has said, the formation and their what they call it, their individual performances can actually contribute to that. But for tomorrow's game, I'm just actually vouching for our Super Eagles team. Let them go out there and try and do what they've done before, not in every aspect.
Which is beat Benin Republic. Of course, they defeated them in New York the last time. And General has said that. General has said that his players should ignore or forget what happened in New York and pick up a momentum.
I don't think we'll beat them tomorrow. But we will lose. I don't think we'll beat them tomorrow. Probably a draw.
Okay, we'll get to that. Chooks, will it be wise course to find a way to play Ademola Lookman, Victor Boniface, and Victor Osimhen tomorrow?
No. That's a terrible decision from Austin. But I think you have to just take a sacrifice. That's the same issue that's actually happening to Ancelotti in Madrid. And you have to take one pick. If you're going to pick a Vinicius Junior over Mbappe, so be it. You come to Super Eagles Nigeria, you're going to pick Victor Boniface over Victor Osimhen, so be it. So you have to pick up what can work for us. What has been working for us is Lookman, Osimhen, and Chukwueze on the flanks. So it's gradually process that Boniface will come to the fold. I don't think we should begin to rush him now. He's still a young lad. He has a lot of years to spend with Super Eagles Nigeria. So he's performing in Bakusin, but it's the fixture. If you're going to pair, or if you want to pair Victor Osimhen and Boniface together, that means Lookman will drop, and that's too harsh for
Lookman can play as a left midfielder. That's more like
what I was actually planning for is a 3-5-2.
A 3-5-2. So
most
Lookman,
likely I'll go for wing backs. I would drop Lukman.
So you can play Osimhen and Boniface.
Yeah, I'm sure
together.
I'll play Osimhen and Boniface, but I'll drop Lukman on the bench. So I'll play a wing back.
You can still play Lukman in the 3-5.
That would be stressful for Lukman.
No, you can
so
play.
I'll go for natural left back.
Look, like I told you, it's all about how the coach wants to play. Okay, let me give you a typical example. What's his name again? The Japanese national team coach. His name escapes my mind now. For the past couple of games in qualifiers, he's playing a 3-4-3, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's not playing with actually natural full wing backs. He's playing with wingers at wing backs. So they're interchanging with the two men playing behind the striker constantly. It's you have Mitoma, Doan, Furuhashi, Maeda, like they're interchanging, and it's really so. Like I said, it's about the approach of the coach. It's about the coach can decide he wants to play a 3-4-3. He'll play Simon Moses and Samuel Chukwueze as wing backs, then decide to play Lukman and whoever as the people behind Osimhen, who will probably start and be the man up front or the main striker, and probably Boniface and Lukman interchanges with Chukwueze and Samuel. Like I said, it's all about how the coach approaches the game, instructions, formations. It all matters, and it will all give you a perspective of how that game or what performance we will get from the players, or if a player will be isolated or quiet in a game.
But the big question here is, in any form that he wants, or any format or any approach he wants to use for the game, should he find a way to play these guys together?
3 of them.
Yeah.
I think 3 of them. The trio of Lukman, Boniface, and Osimhen only works in a 3-man backline, and when 3 of them are close and narrow together, not really spaced out wide. Because if you're looking at a 4-2-3-1 formation now, where do you want to fit Boniface? Okay, you play Boniface from the left, unless you're playing him like a wide target man, like what Max Allegri did with Mandzukic and Gonzalo Higuain when he was at Juventus, where Mandzukic was out wide and served as a wide target man and will probably still go centrally at the end of the day, unless you want to do something like that. But I don't know. Let me not say what I want to say, but I don't know if Ewavo is as tactically adept to do that as we might want to think. But I mean, it's all about possibilities. Look, some of these things we talk about, when it works, is a stroke of genius and all that stuff. So
people will praise Ewavo, give him the job on a permanent basis.
So it's about the coach looking at that team, looking at the training sessions, and deciding. Also looking at Benin Republic.
And what they are coming with
and deciding what
the
to
structure
do
that will be
on the day.
Let's not forget Gennaro has understood this spikes on Nigeria. So
but even Gennaro himself did not use these three
I know he didn't use
together. So that's going to be strange. That's going to come in foreign and dismantle his plans.
We might actually hurt ourselves trying to force these three partnerships down our throat, because there's someone at Chukwueze that is playing perfectly well, and it will be that I'm Rod hot for me Fulham. So let's just go with the normal formation.
Let's go to the markets. Think about it and let us know. Should Uganda find a way to play these 3 together? Will it be fruitful against Benin Republic? They need a point to qualify. But how about going all out for maximum 3 points to send a message to the rest of Africa that, look, I've got the most deadliest arsenal in the Super Eagles. We'll go to the market. We will be right back.
Fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. 2 Timothy 4:7.
Now it's your time. Will you rise to the challenge?
Come and answer God's call at the Redeemed Christian Church of God 2024 Holy Ghost Congress. Tagged Onward Christian Soldiers from December 9th to 14th, 2024.
Venue kilometer 46 Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Time 6 p.m. daily.
Pastor E.A. Adeboye and other anointed men of God will be ministering.
Don't miss your chance to get battle ready.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Hello, my name is Kanwanko aka Papilo. For the latest and trending sports stories, always listen to Today Sports Live on Today95.1 FM Port Harcourt.
All right, we take you away from the market. We are back and we bought granuts, and Chooks will not allow me to share it to you, but we are back to continue the conversation here on the midweek edition of today's Sports Live, reaching you from this particular frequency today, 95.1 FM, situated in the very garden city of Port Harcourt. Is it still garden? Anyways, I don't know. It's left for you to decide. My name remains Reliable Reliance O'Dunion. I have the company of Henry Ogugor. I do have young Chooks Chukwuzite, who's forming for the camera, and I equally do have Gift Ejegu in the studio. A bit of Judith here with us in the building, has been doing great jobs behind the scene as well as behind the camera. All right, do not forget to be part of the conversation. The SMS and the WhatsApp portal is there, 0701 933 9962. That is 0701 933 9962. Will it be fruitful to start the trial of Ademola Lookman, Victor Boniface, and Victor Semen against Benin Republic? How should they find a way to make them work? They are in fine form as we speak for their respective European clubs. Let's know your thought via the SMS and the WhatsApp portal as we continue the conversation. So we're going to have to leave the Super Eagles matter. We will return to discuss more about the Super Eagles tomorrow. And you're going to weigh in on the talking point for the Super Eagles today. But do not forget, on Monday by 4 p.m., the sports crew of Today 95.1 FM, alongside other Today FM OAPs, the likes of Amaka Felix, the likes of Faustina, Queen Chima, possibly Kelly as well. We will all be there to celebrate Nigeria Super Eagles qualification to the Africa Cup of Nations. Nobody's going to tell me that these guys will play 2 matches without qualifying. They will find a Guavoin. Even if they don't qualify tomorrow, they will qualify by that Monday. So come and join us at Flash Lounge. Yeah, it's located at number 6 Roma Logo Alakaya Link Road. Flash Lounge. That's where it is. Uchendo Jowo will find a way to join us there. You're coming, Mr. Uche. Yeah, that's the voice of Uche from the news department. So it's going to be there. So we'll be there to have some fun and celebrate the Super Eagles as they qualify for Morocco 2025. There'll be lots of cash prizes to be won. There'll be lots of, games. And of course, you just cannot come there and go back empty-handed unless they cook waiting no nights for you. So join us at Flash Lounge. By the way, Flash Lounge is a very comfortable place, a place where you can go and have relaxation. You can host your birthday party, whatever kind of party you want to have. You have it at Flash Lounge, whatever legal party, I should say. You have it at Flash Lounge, a place that they offer top-notch hospitality and, of course, accommodation and other services. So join us there on Monday, 18th by 4 p.m. Back to the conversation, guys. Let's leave the Super Eagles and let's talk about Manchester United as we hear that United are reportedly looking to offload striker. Guess.
Zexi.
Are you guessing or you knew? Don't lie.
No, I'm just
Don't
guessing.
lie.
Rasmus Højlund.
You're guessing.
Yeah, I think Zexi.
Rasmus Højlund. Are you guessing or you knew?
Is it that? No, I don't know, but is it that Rasmus Højlund or probably Marcus Rashford?
I think Zexi.
Gift.
Actually.
Guess.
I think it's either Højlund, yeah?
Højlund or who?
Because Zexi just bought him. He's just a new signee.
So they wouldn't want to offload a new signee just like that.
Immediately, yeah.
So either Højlund or who?
It's Højlund. For me, it's Højlund.
Højlund.
Yeah.
Well, it's Joshua Zexi. They just bought gifts that they want to offload.
Just give it that loyalty.
Really?
Are you surprised?
Who's reporting that?
Huh?
Who's carrying the report?
I shock you, Abi.
Amorim will decide,
That's the
man
thing.
has not been.
The man just came. That was yesterday.
Monday. No, he came on Monday. Met with a couple of players yesterday.
Yeah. So a lot of players are still on the international, on international duty. So all these things are just reports. Zexi is a United player till at least me.
Well, it has been reported that Tuttosport in Italy reports that United are looking to offload him and Juventus are taking him on a loan deal by January.
Fine.
The reports in Italy also have it that Liverpool wants to offload Chiesa and Slot has come back to the board.
So he's not offloading
He's
him.
not offloading. I think the squad will remain as it is.
Yeah, most likely.
It will remain as it is. At most, quality. 1 or 2 additions in January to give the man maybe what he wants. Because, I mean, the plan from Amorim wasn't even to come now. It was to come at the end of the season. But it was...
United rushed him.
They rushed him. United was like, it's now or it's never. You either come now or you don't come at all. So, I mean, the man decided, okay, let me take it. So, he has to look at... He needs to assess his team properly first before anything happens. Probably this was based on or stemmed from what was happening to the man Zexi under Eric Ten Hag. So let's watch and see the performance. You could have a situation whereby he comes into this team and Rasmus Højlund by the end of the season is the one you're looking at and he's asking for playing time. And Zexi is a man reborn. He's a man on fire. I mean, the teammates. He was Bologna's best player last season. His teammates that have left are doing very well in their respective clubs. Even the ones that are still behind are still doing okay and good for themselves in this area. So is he a bad player all of a sudden? So I think the coach will need to come in and look at him because there will probably be a change of system at United. There will be a change of system on how they play and approach. So the coach needs to look at that team and know who fits in. Let's just say he borrows the 3-4-3. The 3-4-3 he loves to play at Sporting Lisbon. There are bigger issues than whether Zexi stays or goes. How many fullbacks or do United have that can play as wing backs? Or can naturally take up, because in centre back position I think United will probably be covered. There's a Harry Maguire, Lindelof, Johnny Evans, what's his name? Euro Martinez. So in that position there's no issue from now to the end of the season. But we're talking about the wing backs. Malacia has not kicked the ball for almost 2 years. He finally that was for the under 18s, please. 21. Under 21s, beg your pardon. He hasn't kicked the ball for the senior team for almost 2 years. Luke Shaw is the doctor's favorite patient. You have only Mazraoui and Dalot there.
That's not nice.
No, but it's the truth. Look, how many games does? How many games?
Don't say it like that. Don't say it like that. Say it with a little bit of, a little bit of empathy.
Okay, he's always injured, sadly. So,
there are
a lot of things that could be going through. There's a possibility Garnacho could end up playing as a wing back, because does Garnacho have the footwork or finesse to actually play in that sort of tight situation down the middle? That's another thing you have to look at. But also, can Garnacho playing as a wing back do the defensive work he needs to do? So, I mean,
nobody knew Victor Moses could do defensive duties until Antonio Conte.
They came in. So there's a possibility it could happen. I mean, they haven't. Amorim needs to have time with his boys.
But the predicted lineups, especially the match against Ipswich Town for United, does not consider Joshua Zexi. It has been more of Højlund starting. But
the starting, Zexi is around. He didn't go for the international break. And Højlund has gone for Denmark. Zexi impresses in training. Zexi starts. That's the funny thing.
So let's say we are looking at a 3-man back line, probably a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3. Either a 3-4-3 or a 3-4-3. 3-4-3.
Or
3-4-2-1. Yeah. Or 3-4-2-1.
Yeah.
So you surely will know that Bruno Fernandes is going to start.
Bruno Fernandes
will have a place.
Bruno Fernandes is going to start.
So you're not looking at either Mount or Ahmad.
I think for players that can play down the middle, that's what I was talking about. Garnacho probably playing wing back, because what Mount, Bruno Fernandes and Ahmad have, Garnacho does not really have that ability to play centrally.
Yeah, to go narrow.
Garnacho doesn't really have it in his game. So that's what I'm saying. Can he play? Because the most logical thing you want to think is for him to play as one of those two positions behind the striker. But you're not looking at it. Can he do it? Because of the way Garnacho plays naturally. He could shock us. He could actually adapt and do it. But there's still that doubt. That will be down for Amorim to decide. But I mean, even for Bruno self, there's also a possibility Bruno could go deeper and play as one of the two men in front of the centre-backs, 3 centre-backs. So, I mean, there are a lot of possibilities revolving or moving around and going on in my head and probably the man's head and some other people's heads. But we wait to see. But I think certain players have to be careful.
All right.
And I think Zexi isn't really one of them. I think it's more... Everybody has a clean slate now, don't get me wrong. But Zexi is one of those players that hasn't had the best of time and he just came in. So there might be some grace for him
to stay.
Yeah, but you see players like Rashford. It's now or never for Rashford.
Impress
or
yeah,
leave by
out.
the summer.
Yeah.
For Marcus Rashford is now or never for the man. Which other player will I put within that? Anthony is another player.
Maguire has been impressive, hasn't he?
I think Maguire might be safe.
Maguire has been central to many things.
I think Maguire might be
even
safe.
Under Eric Ten Hag.
I think Maguire might be safe for the fact that we have a situation whereby Johnny Evans and Lindelof might leave at the end of the season.
Probably.
Could that be the reason? I mean, look at Maguire's performance. He saved Ten Hag's blushes some of the times.
He has been good when thrown into the fray. When thrown into the fray. So, like, he's still a senior figure in the club, whether he wants to admit it or not. So, I mean, and I also painted the scenario: Johnny Evans and Lindelof probably leaving. So, I mean, from 5, if those two leave, it's down from 5 to 3. You can't end up losing another one, especially when you love to play a try at the back. You're looking at signing 2 more players to replace them, and you still have other positions in that team where you need to reinforce at the end of the day. Like I was talking about the wing back position, man, you need special. I don't know where you get, because specialist wing backs nowadays in football are hard to come by, are hard to find. So it's actually going to be very difficult to correct that position or to find good enough players to fill up that position.
So are you saying that Dalot and what's the other guy's name? Masrai, they're not good enough?
I think Dalot and Masrai are good enough, but can you use only 2 of them for the whole season?
A Shaw will never give you stability.
I'm not sure Shaw will play a full season.
And Malasha is just recovering from injury.
I think Malasha will be sold at the end of the season. Sadly.
I think they might actually save Malasha because of the money spent, and he have not.
How much did they spend on Malasha? Was it not 17 million?
No, I think it's up to 20.
20 million now for a player is nothing.
That's for a young player who you try to invest and try to build up from.
They said Liverpool spent cheap and it's a no-risk deal. They spent 30 million on Federico Chiesa. That's 30 million. That's 30. For clubs like Liverpool, Manchester United, Chelsea, 20 million on a player is low risk. Where you say it's a low-risk player, like, if this one not do well, we sell out for like 10, 12 million. We make 8 million loss.
Paul Chimodo is causing problems in my studio. Paul. Don't come back here again.
So, I mean, it's a low risk signing that hasn't paid off for 2 years. Why not cut your loss at the end of the day? So Malassia could leave, but the problem is that who gets to come in at the end of the day? I think the man has started on a positive note for the fact he didn't even let Van Nistelrooy continue on his coaching staff. So that gives me the confidence that
he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. So we just have to be patient and watch how
the next place we want to look at what's possibly going to happen in January is Liverpool, because there are strong reports emerging from Spain that Real Madrid are making a consideration to push forward their interest in getting Trent Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool. You know, Carvajal is out of the season.
Yeah.
Eder Militao just got injured recently.
Out of the season.
Out of the season as well. ACL for both of them. And Marca report that they were interested in getting Trent Alexander-Arnold in the summer, but due to the injury woes at the defense line of Real Madrid, they might just come in full force to get Trent Alexander-Arnold this January.
It won't work.
It will be hard.
Either he leaves for free or he doesn't leave at all. Is that one of those two? Because in the summer, in January, he's not going to leave, especially with where Liverpool find themselves. I mean, Liverpool are pushing on all fronts and cylinders, and by January, if they have a sizable gap, and have a good chance that it looks like they will win the Premier League and probably go as far as possible in the Champions League. He might not even leave. And there's still a possibility of the man signing a new contract. They're in talks with his representatives, so there's still a possibility Trent might sign a new contract.
By the way, it's been reported that the contract negotiation has stalled.
It has stalled, actually, but it just takes one thing to turn from stall to... I know the ball is actually in Trent's court. Liverpool lost control of the situation when they let him enter the final year of his contract. That's the simple truth. The ball is actually in Trent's court.
Because by January, he's free to start negotiations.
With any team. So it's down to the man, but there's the boyhood factor also. He's a boyhood boy. Is his boyhood club.
Boyhood, when Real Madrid comes for you.
Is his boyhood club. It's possible. I mean, Gerrard turned down Real Madrid. Rio Ferdinand turned down Real Madrid. So it's possible. People can turn down Real Madrid, although that is very rare. You rarely get to see that in football. But you have to look at a lot of factors. You might be looking at it and saying, especially if Liverpool continue the way at which they are going. And let's just say by January, they almost double the gap they have over City. You're talking about 8-9 points.
Yeah.
There's a huge possibility they win the English Premier League again. It can
Right.
also be a possibility that he says, okay, let me win it and this is my final hurrah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of possibilities happening. They're definitely preparing for the man's departure, but I think if he's to sign him in January, I don't think it will work.
Okay.
It will probably be a free transfer at the end of the day if he's to leave for Real Madrid.
All right, because that's going to bring more money to him as well. 0817 00951 0810 951. Let's have you into the conversation. Who is the favorite? GC Yannick Sinner doing an invincible at the ongoing ATP finals in Turin. For the Super Eagles, the trio of Ademola Lookman, Victor Boniface, and Osimhen, will it be fruitful if Iguavoin start them? Do they bring that kind of form? For Manchester United, Julius Exeter is reportedly going to be loaned out by January. If it happens, good decision. And Trent Alexander-Arnold, looks like Real Madrid might come for him full force January. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, please. What's your name? Your name is? I didn't get the name. Could you say it again? Okay. Tunde? Okay, Monty, go ahead.
For the Super Eagles, I think it should not to read to play Mbappe, Junior, and the other defenders. For me, it's that Iguavoin to play Lookman, Osimhen, either Moses or Chukwueze. And then we allow either Bashiru or Iwobi in behind the strikers. Or we try to bring Victor Boniface to join with them. They might be clash. Osimhen and Victor, they might not be able to understand themselves. But if we allow only Victor Osimhen to be the main man, and then we use put on the right or Moses, I think we will get a better game. So that is my suggestion.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Keep the reactions coming through. 0810 9510 951. That's the phone number or one of our call lines. SMS and WhatsApp portal is 0701 933 9962. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone in the studio.
Favor, good afternoon. Welcome.
Well, for me, I think that no club will want to sell a player that is integral in their squad. So I don't think that Liverpool, even though Madrid is paying £100 million, I don't think that they will sell him. But I think that the best defender that Madrid can get, there is Jonathan Tah of Bayer Leverkusen. So I think that Bayer Leverkusen can be willing to do some business with them. Because even the real answer Liverpool Arsenal, I don't think Arsenal will be so at this kind of state they found themselves in to be able to sell Saliba. I don't think they will afford to lose Saliba now. Then going over to the Super Eagles setup, well, I think it will be a wide set to play because before Boniface joined Bayer Leverkusen, at the former club, he used to play as a left winger, I think, for Royal Antwerp. He Royal Antwerp that he was playing for before he joined Leverkusen.
That's you mean Victor Boniface?
Yes.
Can't recall, but just continue.
I remember now, it's the Union St-Gallen of Belgium. Union St-Gallen. So I watched that match that they played against Bayer Leverkusen 2 seasons ago before he joined. He played as a left winger, so I think that he can operate also as a left winger. So I think that it will be a wide step for the coach to play Boniface, Lookman, and Osimhen. Thank you very much.
All right, Favor. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. It's going to be wise. Yeah, Union St-Gilloise. That's the club he came from to Bayer Leverkusen. Okay. You think it's going to be a wise decision? At least switch him or move him to one of the flank and then let Victor Osimhen, be this focal point. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Reliance. Kelechi from Port Harcourt.
Kelechi, talk to us.
Yes, sorry, before I talk about Alcaraz and this person, what is going on? Are they played already?
Yeah, the match is ongoing. I'll confirm the I think I'm going to call that the score line for you in a bit, but the match is ongoing as we speak.
Okay. Yeah, and then for your question, Yannick, of course, we're going to be doing invincible. I don't see if Akaras can get through to what is name again. Akaras can win Zeref, then he will definitely make it to the finals against or semi-finals.
Okay, Kelechi, the match is done. The match is done. Alcaraz won 6-3, 7-6, needing decider in the last round, in the last set against Andrew Rublev, yeah.
Oh, Rublev, and then how about Zverev?
Zverev Kasparov comes up later. It's not underway yet.
Okay.
It should be later tonight.
So if Alcaraz can go through Zverev because he already lost to Kasparov,
yeah,
and then I think Kasparov as well too, probably beating Zverev maybe in 3 sets, but definitely my sweet boy Yannick Sinner will definitely clean this one for the second time in a row.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And could you please slowly call your SMS line, please? Thank you very much.
All right. I'll do that. Thank you very much. He sees Yannick Sinner doing an invincible as the ATP final. That's beating all comers till the trophy. That's for Kelechi. The SMS and the water portal is doubled at 0701 933 962. I want to believe that was slow enough. I'll go over it again, but not that slow. 0701 933 9962. That's our SMS and the WhatsApp portal. So keep the reactions coming. 0817 000951 0810 9510 951. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, guys.
Simon, great to have you on the show. Talk to us.
Let me just go straight to the Super Eagles because there's no more time. The governor should not even make mistake of starting 3 of them at the same time. It's not that they cannot work. They can work, but it will be as an experiment in the sense that he has not, tried it maybe from the friendly man. Victor Boniface can play from side, but I would prefer for him to just go for a normal three, just 2 wingers and the point man, then Boniface will come at the second half. It's no more that he must use Victor Osimhen to change Boniface to bring in Boniface. He can use any other person, but by that time, it will be a different strategy now. In the sense that because the defenders of the opponent now, maybe that by that time, defenders not really weak. They can even remove one of the midfield and they put it.
Okay.
Don't need to focus now.
Okay.
So by that time, we are just putting them in to enjoy, for us to score more goals and enjoy, because the opponent now, at that time, the opponent don't collect. So we just put the things to just finish the work.
All right.
But starting 3 of them at the same time, please. I would say let him not just, because there is a way you will start them, they will be dragging for the goals. Who might not even score one. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Reminds me of the 2009 Under-17 World Cup, Nigeria, Switzerland. Where they promised those lads monies, and in the end, everybody became greedy, wanted to score. From the WhatsApp portal, this one says, good day, everyone in the studio. Reliance, please. Is Arsenal used as a word in sentence, and what's the meaning? Tokwe from Choba. Yes, Arsenal is used as a word in a sentence. I will tell you the meaning after this call. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Prince from Elelewo.
Okay, Prince from Elelewo. Talk to us.
Yes, talking about Super Eagles, the combination of Victor Osimhen,
Lookman and Boniface.
Yes, I think it's very good. But the problem we're having is the midfield. Who is there in that midfield that can supply them with these balls? Iwobi, I look at him as he's not that Iwobi we used to know. I think that's the problem. But pairing them together, I think it's a welcome development.
Okay.
But who is going to supply them with those balls?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thoughtful. That's another important question to be considered. Who's going to supply them the ball for them to work with. So Arsenal is using a statement. It's a noun. It has many meanings, but the context at which I want to believe you referred to when I talked about Boniface, Osimhen, and Ademola Lookman as Arsenal. Release is deadly Arsenal. So Arsenal simply means a stock of weapons, especially all the weapons that a nation possesses. So when it's using a statement in that regard, in that context, it simply means you have weapons on the field of play in this regard to destroy your opponent. Hi, good afternoon. Your volume is very low. Can you step up?
I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Okay, your name is?
Chimenem.
Okay, Chimenem. Let's wrap it up. 30 seconds, please. Thank you.
Okay. For Manchester United, I think if they can get Alfonso Davies and Marcos Alonso, I think these two guys can solve that wing back problem for them and all of that. And they could actually get these players for I think a cheaper amount or so. But if they go for them, these two players can solve that wing back problem for them.
All right, Chimenem.
And secondly, I think Amorim should take it easy on the players. He just came in. He should just study these players.
Before making a decision. Okay.
Know what he can use and all of that before making any decision and all of that.
Thank you very much, Chimene. We appreciate you. Let's end things there, and we will return here tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for Sport Attack. You will still have the opportunity to join us and talk to us, and then later today, Sports Live by 3 p.m. Do not forget, we'll be at Flash Lounge on the 18th of this month by 4 p.m. Queen Chima takes over from here for the news updates at 4 p.m.
I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
I don't fight the good fight. I don't finish the race. I don't follow the faith. 2 Timothy 4:7.
Now your time, you go face the challenge.
Come answer the call of God for this year Holy Ghost Congress of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. We then call Onward Christian Soldiers from December 9, go reach 14, 2024.
Now for kilometer 46 Lagos Ibadan Expressway, you go shell by 6 p.m. every day.
Now Pastor E.A. Adeboye and other Bonga man of God then go lead the battle.
No miss this chance to prepare for battle.
Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News update.
Good afternoon. Here is the news update on Today 95.1 FM. I'm Queen Chima. The Nigeria Customs Service has announced that it's collected 5.7 trillion naira in revenue as of 12 November 2024. The Controller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, disclosed this at the ongoing 2024 Controller General of Customs Conference in Abuja. Adeniyi expressed optimism about the service's capacity to achieve more for the economy. Discussing the service's strides in trade facilitation, Adeniyi noted that 6 beneficiaries of the Authorized Economic Operators Program have been carefully selected. He added that 21 requests have been processed under an advanced ruling program aimed at fostering quicker customs decision-making on import and export cargoes prior to their arrival at the ports. The Defense Headquarters says the new terrorist group Lukarawa has begun a recruitment process to bolster its fighting capabilities. It, however, said the military was aware of the group's recruitment activities and working closely with other security agencies and the state government to halt the recruitment efforts. The Defense Headquarters had last Thursday confirmed the emergence of a new terrorist group known as Lukarawa in the northern region with operations in Sokoto and Kebbi states. The Director of Media Operations Operations Major General Edward Buba said the terrorists began incursion into the northern parts of Sokoto and Kebbi states from the Niger Republic and Mali axis, particularly at the Republic. He blamed residents of the region for accommodating the terrorists and failing to report their movements to the military and other security agencies. The National Vice Chairman of the Labour Party, North Central Ibrahim Idiko, has slammed the National Coordinator of the Obedient Movement, Yunusa Tanko, for claiming that the movement is bigger than the Labour Party and therefore brought it into the limelight. In a recent interview, Tanko, while asserting that the movement is larger than the party, also noted its independence and the possibility of moving to another political platform to uphold its values of good governance and accountability in the forthcoming 2027 elections, should it become necessary for the Labour Party to embrace its